Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Old World Gamer, along with Scott, Dev, and Kane. Welcome to the Retro Indie Pixels podcast.
Yeah, we are back again, probably with a updated title. Just, saying.
Yeah, the thumbnail. I've been putting the thumbnail up as show instead of podcast. Don't ask. Anyways, I'm gonna get all that changed. That's not a big deal. But
hey, it's all good.
We are changing up the podcast slightly. We're eliminating game deals. The big reason being that by the time a lot of you get to listen to the podcast, those deals are gone. So it's just like, hey guys, here's the stuff you missed out on. Ha ha! But no, we're going to change it up. We're going to actually feature topics now. And from once in a while, we're probably going to throw in a review here and there. I've also had the thought of maybe possibly getting someone else to join us for the podcast, maybe once or twice a month, and they'll specifically just review one game, a retro game or an indie game, and that way we kind of keep something, keep going with that kind of...
Keep it nice and fresh.
Yeah. So, anyways, another new thing, I guess it's going to be new for today at least, is Scott's going to be reviewing a game. A game that he doesn't know much of it. He doesn't know much about it at all. I can guarantee it.
I don't know anything. Nothing. I will be reviewing Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. First thing. I played a little bit of it, so at this point, yeah. So, alright, starting it off, we're just gonna go right into the review for Bloodstained right off the bat. So, for those of you who haven't been listening to me for the last 5 years, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was a Kickstarter game created by the team spearheaded by the Castlevania god himself, Koji Igarashi. His dream was to make his own Igavania game now that he's no longer employed by Konami, and the Kickstarter for the project made over $1.5 million in its first day alone, making $5.5 million overall, which at the time was the largest crowdfunded game of all time. After a few development delays, the game released June 18th, 2019 for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and released on the Switch June 25th. This review is going to be primarily about the PC version purchased on Steam, since I don't own the other platforms, so I will not be covering the other systems. Now, as you know, I am a Castlevania fan, and mainly a Metroidvania fan. And I want to give you this review as impartially as I possibly can. I've given each portion of the game a score out of 50 so that I can more accurately come up with the final score as possible. I'll also give you this review with as few spoilers as possible. Given the game fine-tooth comb, and this is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Story. The game takes place in 19th century somewhere. The main protagonist, Miriam, was a part of an experiment by the Alchemist Guild, who infuses humans with what are called shards, allowing demonic powers, but slowly consuming its host's body. These people are called shardbinders by the guild. Another shardbinder by the name of Jeeble bonds with Miriam and keeps her from losing her humanity. Fast forward, the Alchemist Guild, in fear of losing its funding from the church, uses the Shardbinders to summon demons as a sort of scare tactic, but end up bringing forth a whole mess of demons. Jeeble, who was supposed to be the sacrifice of this ritual, ends up mysteriously surviving, and Miriam ends up not being used in the ritual as she falls into a mysterious sleep. Fast forward another 10 years, and Miriam awakes to find that Jeeble is heading a demonic army. And it's up to her to stop, with the aid of her alchemist friend Johannes, her friend's tirade once and for all. For what it's worth, the story is new, but frankly, comes off a little weak at times. The shards are supposed to be dangerous demonic powers that slowly consume Miriam, but this never again comes up in the story, other than the small snippets in a conversation with Jeeble later on in the game. She willy-nilly gains powers and shards, and it never seems to affect her, morally or physically. I feel this would have been a good place to slowly but surely change the physical appearance of Miriam over time, but it's never explored. Other than that small complaint, the story actually progresses quite well, never keeping you out of the story loop for too long. With multiple character building elements between Miriam's allies, you'll find yourself bonding with the characters rather quickly. And then there are a few characters that you disconnect with quickly. but that kind of can be said about any game. I very much enjoyed the story of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, even if some of the aspects of it were slightly predictable because of my history with Metroidvania games. Mm-hmm. The game tends to blatantly plagiarize Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow, but there's enough to keep you happy with the game. Score for story, 41 out of 50.
Okay.
Graphics. This is where I'm seeing most of the complaints about the game, and I'm not really sure where all these folks are coming from. Graphically, the art style of this game is gorgeous. Everything's in its place and beautifully done so. The cell shading of the game never brings you out of any of the atmospheres, and every area seems like it's its own little world. And everything is thought of. When the moonlight through a window hits Miriam, she'll cast a shadow against the ground. When an enemy is hit with a bladed weapon, its blood will spray across the walls of the ground. Each weapon that's used is very detailed, and they all look great, and Miriam's movement with each weapon is masterfully done.
Now, I will bring up to everybody that anyone who has any issues with the way the graphics are looking right now, this is a 480 video right now, so
right.
It's not 1080. So you're going to see, edging and stuff like that, and little extra pixels and such. But other than that, it's good gameplay, and it does look really nice. Yeah,
but as with everything, there are still some flaws. I found myself several times, even on the PC version, where there would be enough on the screen to cause frame rate issues. This is very few and far between, and not enough to warrant a complaint. I do hear that there is a lot of frame rate issues on the Switch version, and as I've not and probably will not play that version, I have very little to complain about. There was a single instance of raiding a tome causing a crash, but after that one time, it never happened again.
See, that's something that they should have addressed, but at this point in time, with how much money went into this game, and with where we are in regards to developing games, big things like this should not have any lag issues, in my opinion.
Yeah. The problem that's with that is that I've heard that they actually put into the game like a hard frame rate cap, which is like, I'm not really sure why that was done, but Bloodstained it's a beautifully made game, visual eye candy, and a masterpiece for the Metroidvania genre. My final graphics score for it, 46 out of 50. Sound and music. Now, let me get something straight. When it comes to Metroidvania games, the music and the sound of the game is of utmost importance. I mean, the game was called Symphony of the Night for a reason, right? So the game has set a standard as to what Metroidvania games should be, and it's the reason why I have always rated Harmony of Dissonance lower on the totem pole of all other Metroidvania games. If you've ever played Harmony of Dissonance, the sound is very, very grainy, and it's not high on its sound. So, oh boy, does this game absolutely not disappoint at all. Musically, anyway, I cannot count the number of times I was jamming out to the soundtrack of this game, and 100% of the time sets the mood for every area that you're in. It is a masterpiece of a soundtrack, and very worthy of having an OST made for it. It's that good. Again, it's not without its flaws. There are a few times where sound effects became worrisome and repetitive, but this is a flaw of Metroidvania games as a whole, so I won't be too harsh for it. For the most part, ambience and activated sound effects are mostly great, and again set the mood for the gothic horror setting it's in.
That tone is
then there's the voice acting. You'd think with guys like David Hayter, who plays Zangetsu, and Rod Belgrad, who is the voice of Alucard in Symphony of the Night playing the librarian OD, that this would have been a voiceover masterpiece. And is it not? Every bit of voice acting in this game feels painfully forced, and almost no conversation seems like it wasn't read directly off a script. I will give Robert Belgrad a pass here. His rendition of OD was spot on, and I never felt that way about him. But for everybody else, oh, good gravy. Getting past all the voice acting, the game sounds great. Would listen again. Okay. So final score for music and sound, 45 out of 50. Control. I can't say anything, or very little, bad about the controls of this game. I feel that I absolutely never, and I mean not once, have I ever felt like I wasn't in control of my destiny. Everything ran smoothly, and every time something happened in the game, I never once found myself blaming controls, even with a mechanic as potentially complicated as the invert ability was. Anytime I wanted to use it, I never struggled. Learning new abilities and how they worked with controls took very little time, and many of them were mastered quickly. The single complaint that I have with the game's controls were the PS4 controllers sometimes were a little difficult to access the map with. Many times, I found myself hitting the wrong button on the controller, as the legend for the map controls were hidden away in an extra menu within the map. There were many, many times I found myself accidentally creating map markers when I didn't intend to. But when map troubles are the only complaint that you have on controls, that's kind of saying something. This may be the slight bit of bias that I give, given that I'm a long-time Metroidvania player, but this seems to be the best, if not one of the best, Metroidvania games out there for control. Final score, 40 out of 50.
Damn.
Gameplay. Most of the game was great. Exploring the gigantic map that the game offered was a pleasure, and the sections never felt too small or forced on you. Every area was a nice change of pace, and the main goal was never out of sight, no matter how much you wanted to explore. Pacing was also well done for most of the game, as very rarely did I ever find myself confused as I was at what I was supposed to be doing. If I ever found myself unable to access an area, it's because I knew I had to explore other places and possibly find a new item or ability that would allow me access. This did become very cryptic at the end of the game, however, and finding the true ending of the game required a lot of backtracking and map completion. There is a single treasure chest that is very missable, that is imperative to completing the game, and was the single time I ever had to ask for help outside of the game to continue. Outside of that small flow quirk, I never struggled with progression. I'm not really going to delve too much into the shard system. It's 100% and almost painfully stolen from Aria of Sorrow. The only difference here is that you can equip 4 shards instead of 3 as an Aria. Otherwise, there's really nothing new here outside of the shortcut shards, which allow you to quickly switch between different weapon sets, even shard sets amongst the same equipment. There are multiple times where you may need to switch out shards for progression's sake, and shortcuts were a good addition to what it may have been a completely stolen mechanic. Your alchemist friend Johannes will allow you to craft, cook, and upgrade your shards with materials that you find about the castle. While this sounds like fun, this can sometimes be a chore that takes up a lot more time than it needs to. Crafting is just what it sounds like, and cooking is a mechanic that allows you to take food items and put them together to create permanent stat-boosting foods that can also be made later for health-recovering items. Shard upgrading allows you to do just that, making some shards' abilities larger in size where it may make other shards' areas of effect longer. Problem here is that it just takes way too long, and I found myself running between the merchant and the alchemist for 10 to 20 minutes at a time. The time here could have been saved by just having those two people in the same room. Having to traverse 2 screens between both was just a hassle, and I felt that a lot of the pain of crafting could have been solved by just plopping Johannes and Dominique in the same room. The romp through the castle, even with its alchemical quirks, is an enjoyable one. I found myself having a hard time putting down my controller just because I wanted more. Gameplay, final score, 43 out of 50. Difficulty. I had a hard time with this one. You have to understand something here. I am an avid Metroidvania player, and if you've been paying attention, there have been difficult Metroidvanias, take Hollow Knight for example. There have been painfully easy Metroidvania games, like Shadow Complex, at least in my opinion. Then there's Bloodstained, which I have to slate pretty much in the middle. There were several times that I found myself dying, and I'm not sure if because the save points were too far spread out, or that you just get absolutely and unmercifully beaten down in this game. For what it's worth, the actual progression would be a breeze if it weren't for that. The game is merciless at times with the amount of damage that you take, especially with bosses. If you are given very few healing items at times, unless you've done a painful amount of grinding first. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. May Symphony of the Night be in my top 3 games of all time. By the end of the game, you've become so powerful that very little can do anything to you. You're a literal god amongst monsters. Not so much in Bloodstained. Defense seems to do very little, and I never really tested how much damage you would take unarmored, because even in the best, I was still getting lit up. This is a breath of fresh air for the game, which generally tends toward the Symphony of the Night side of things, making a character almost unbeatable towards the end of the game. Bottom line, if you're an as avid player of Metroidvanias as I am, you probably won't struggle too much. For casuals, get that preparation H ready, because, you're gonna need it. Difficulty final score, 40 out of 50. Replayability. Alright, this is where I'm gonna have to be slightly biased. I love this game, but outside of completion and achievements, there's as much replayability here as any other game in the genre, given that this is a fair score. So giving this a fair score is tough. However, Igarashi has promised 13 pieces of DLC in the future as at the time of this review in June of 2019. And all of these DLC pieces are going to be free, with a Zangetsu mode, co-op play, so perhaps there may be something here that breathes a new life into the game. It's tough to make a Metroidvania game replayable, and Symphony of the Night had the right idea with Richter and Maria modes, making things different for each character. Hopefully Zangetsu and the co-op mode will bring the same thing to this game. Do I think I'm going to pick this game up 6 months from now and play it over again? Hell yes. Same thing with Symphony of the Night. I could find myself playing this game again and again at future times. It has a built-in speedrun mode. After you beat the game, so this is going to be a plus for some of the players who wish to do so. The game is fun enough to want to come back to it again at a future date. Replayability, 40 out of 50. Entertainment value. Alright, so I went into this game expecting Symphony of the Night. Maybe this wasn't fair from the beginning, but I waited 5 years for this game, so I had every right to want the most out of this game. So I set the bar extremely high. I expected to be entertained by this game, and I expected everything from it. And for what it's worth, I really wasn't disappointed very much. This game is fun as hell, hands down. Knowing it's a Metroidvania, you know what to expect, but this game does things with the genre that haven't been done yet. Collecting shards is fun, never knowing what the next enemy is going to give you. For what it's worth, there are some shards that are blatantly more powerful than others. I'm looking at you, Heretical Grinder. But it doesn't really stop you from being excited every time the screen turned into a colored flower shard. It was rarely a chore, with bosses that weren't too easy, but weren't too unfair. Rarely did I find myself frustrated, but nevertheless enchanted by the castle I was exploring. Now it's time to be critical. Is this a $40 game? As at the time of this review, before the DLCs and before anything else has been added to this game, I very painfully have to say no. I think it at a $30 price tag for the non-physical copy would have been a better price, and maybe slightly higher tag for the physical copies. Don't misunderstand me when I say that paying full price for this game isn't the right idea. But I'm just saying that I felt that there just quite wasn't enough at launch for me to say that it was justified. Knowing that the DLC in the future will all be free, at least the one coming soon, this sways me a little more towards being able to accept its current price tag. Without that guarantee, I felt that it might have been a little steep, but I promise you, it's worth the buy. Entertainment score, 45 out of 50. So my final conclusion, alright, I'm going to be honest with you. I expected this to blow Symphony of the Night out of the water. I expected this game to be revolutionary, and expected this to be my new favorite game of all time. I expected a lot. Did it deliver? Sort of. I think I wanted something that was a little more different than Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow sewn together with a female protagonist. Did I have fun nonetheless? Abso-frickin-lutely. Which is why I'm being so harsh on my judgment here. Despite it not completely living up to the expectations that I had for it, it was still a fantastic game. Full of great art, superb gameplay, and what I may say may be the second best OST for a Metroidvania ever. I suggest to you all to pick up a copy of this game and give it a try. From an avid gamer down to the novice Metroidvania player, you will have a great time for this game. Final score, 87 out of 100, solid B+. So, what more to say about this game? I mean, there were a lot of portions of it. Like, this particular portion right here that's on the screen where they were doing the farming portion of it. There were, like, things that they could have done that could have just made, like, so much more happen in the game that just wasn't explored. The bounty system for fighting demons and getting rewards for fighting specific demons could have like superbly been explored, but there were just certain parts of it that they just kind of, I feel, missed out on. But then there are other portions of it, like the crafting system, which was fun, But the problem that with the crafting system, as soon as you made one thing, it just became available at the merchant, so you would never actually have to craft things again. But again, the gameplay was really good. There were a lot of portions of the game where I was just like, wow, this is aesthetically really great. There are, characters in the game like OD. Man, I love OD. He is such an obvious Symphony of the Night reference. I mean, he was in the review a little earlier. I was at the library, and you got to see OD there. He's such a cool character. For as little as you get to see of him, it's like... And the fact that he was voiced by Robert Belgrade. I mean, come on. And the fact that it comes with a built-in speedrun mode, you don't even have to do anything special. You could just hey, pop, speedrun. Let's go do it. So, I would say for anybody who has ever played Symphony of the Night, for anybody who's ever enjoyed a Metroidvania game, this game's great. And you really should give it a try.
I think they still could have done more with it. I think that Metroidvanias have come the way that they should have multi-layered maps. What I mean is that you're going through a castle, and you go up, and you go up, and you go up, and you go this way, and you go this way, and you go down. But you never go this way. You never come back through.
Actually, in the game you do. In this game, there are isometric 2.5D sections of the game where you're
so does that also show that on the map as a separate map? Hey, you're
no. Unfortunately, the section of the map that has the 2.5D is really confusing about how the progression was. And spoiler alert, the section that I talked about having to go outside for the help was part of that. And the problem with it is that the 2.5D section of that tower, the map progression is really complicated, and it's really confusing. And I kind of just went to every portion that I could to try to get to finish the map. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is that it would be cool if it was like a Metroid, sort of like Metroid Prime, where maps look like that?
Kind of, yes, but not even that. Still leaving it as 2D, but having several layers back. If you had a map for one layer back, one for a second, one for a third, maybe only going back so many same thing forward, but being able to go into your map if you want to and be able to turn it and see, like, okay, this is where I am, this is where I need to be, you know, how can I get there, you know, by turning just the map around and looking at that, I guess, is kind of what I mean. That they should incorporate it as a main thing to these games, just because, I mean, I understand the 2D part of it and stuff, but, I don't know, it almost needs something to make it, the mechanics of it feel a little bit more fresh. Because it's just, a lot of games do this same thing. It's like, here's a map, and here's, you can go left, right, up, and down. That's it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't feel very fleshed out. Like, it feels very flat.
Where you could have, like sections of the map that you could only visit, like, by saying, like, here's this area here. Like, maybe you can only access the back section of the map because there's, like, a transportation thing that goes, whoop, you're in this section, whoop, now you're in here, now you're on the second part of this map. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just incorporating into a game, I feel, would be, like, difficult and...
Oh, probably. But, I mean, I think we're at the point now where we can start doing more with these games. Than
Absolutely. And I would say, like, for the Metroidvanias that did explore the 3D portion, like, Curse of Darkness and Harmony of Despair. I can't remember the other one, the PS2 versions of those games. They were all right, but I won't say that they would ever be, like, of the top 50% of Metroidvania games, because they did do it like a Metroid Prime sort of map, but at the same time, like, there were sections of it where it's like, this seems really convoluted. So doing, like, a 2D map like these games, like Symphony of the Night or like Bloodstained, where you could have, like, a front map and a back map, and only certain portions of it would be accessible because of, like, you know, like I said, little teleportation things or whatnot, to be able to go from the front to the back, would make, like, hey, you know, you have a back section of the map that you can only get through here, but there's now another section of the game that you can't access without a special ability from the front map, but now you have to take that to the back map to get to this new section, which the new section in the back map has something that allows you to progress into the front map, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think,
like I said, just making it feel like an actual, like, castle and tower instead of, like,
right,
you know, like I said, like, not every home is built with, like, oh, one room is here, one room's here, and here, and here, and here, and in order to get upstairs, you literally crawl up a ladder, like, it's not realistic feeling, and I think, like, so many Metroidvania games have done this, like, including Metroid and Castlevania, obviously, and all their subsequent games have all done this. And like I said, I nothing against the 2D, because obviously I'm a big fan of the 2D stuff, but like, it doesn't have to be in 3D graphics by any means. Like, you can still do this with, you know, this, or you know...
Or just, like, saying, like, you know, you could do, like, a special, like, hitting up on, like, the foreground, on a foreground staircase, and it, like, kind of moves you toward, like, you do, like, a little, around, and now you're playing in the background. Paper Mario, for example, have done things like that in sections.
Yep.
Where you know, go down a pipe, and now you're in the background.
Yes.
You know, something like that. I think that would be genius. Or saying, like, can you imagine what it would be like to fight a boss that's like, hey, this is up in your face. Hey, now the boss is in the background. How do I get to the background? Oh, there's a thing over here. Ooh, now you're fighting the boss in the background. You know? Or maybe there's a mechanic that says, hey, there's a cannon in the background, and the boss is going to be invulnerable till you shoot him with the cannon, and the armor flies off, you know, something like that.
And there's a lot of different ways that they could even change the mapping system. Like, right now, it's showing most of it as being blue, for the most part. So, I mean, why can't, you know, one map be yellow, one be blue? Like, being, like, you know, again, color coding whichever layer you're supposed to be on. So you can, if you want to, you could superimpose them, but okay, I need to get back to that green room that I was at here, but I had to get there from the blue. How the fuck do I get back there? Because I could see it from this screen, but I can't obviously access it, so... And then you could overlay the two and be like, oh, if I backtrack here, there should be a way to get in over on this side. Again, it's just, I guess, more thought on how they could expand the genre itself than anything else. So,
there you have it, folks. That's Bloodstained for me. I kind of expected going into this review, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to come out, it's going to be A+, and it's going to be like, I I'm gonna look like such a stupid fanboy. But the more that I reviewed it, the more I'm just like, I have to be super critical of this. And you know, as somebody who's played Symphony of the Night, and it's like my second favorite game of all time, I had to be just like critical about certain things, and it was just completely necessary to, you know.
Well, I mean, you can't just say like, "Hey, I like this," you know, these two specific series of games, and this guy was part of one of those series, so I'm gonna love this. Like, you know,
right?
You have to be critical as much as possible.
And there, like I said, there were certain portions of the game that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that the armor that allowed you to go through spikes was like in a very, very hidden place. And if you just didn't happen to be like, if you happen to be like a guy like me, where it's like, now that I have abilities that allow me to access pretty much anywhere that I want to go, I have to go get every single portion of the map. There are people who aren't going to care about that. They want to get to the end of the game. And the problem with that particular portion of it is that to get that final thing, it's map completion. You know? So
yeah, which seems to be a big thing for a lot of those games as well.
Yeah, and that needed to be something that was a little bit more hinted at. There needed to be like a hint that, hey, you have to go up here. Where it's like, you clearly, like before you got a specific ability, you could not go up. There was no way to go up.
Yeah.
But once you got an ability, you absolutely could. But there was no hint to it. And like little cryptic things like that, there has to be some sort of hint to it. But other than that, I mean, the game was great, so you definitely all should give it a try.
Indeed.
So I will now go on to my news section. My news section is going to be a little bit smaller this time around because I gave you that long review. So, first thing I want to talk about, Sony's focus with the PS5 will be on the hardcore consumer and AAA titles. Sony says it's designing the PlayStation 5 to appeal to those hardcore gamers and customers who prefer graphics-heavy games. According to the Wall Street Journal report, Sony's main strategy with the PS5 will be to draw consumers with its AAA titles. During a recent company strategy meeting, the company's chief executive officer, Kenshiro Yoshida, said games have become more important than ever. This means that Sony will concentrate less on showcasing independent games and more on high-end offerings, said another Sony official. While it will support the indie titles, the emphasis will be on larger publications. In addition, the company itself will focus more on developing big-budget games at its own studios. This, as per the official, is because people buy consoles to play high-quality games available only on that platform, not smaller games. Sony hoped its focus on consumers who want the newest and best available will separate it from the biggest competitor, Xbox Scarlet, when it enters the market. Microsoft has always been Sony's console rival, as it doesn't consider Switch a threat. This is because the company feels Nintendo tends to appeal to more of a younger audience compared to PlayStation's core demographic. As far as Stadia is concerned, according to the Wall Street Journal report, Sony doesn't currently see the service as a threat. Once internet technology advances, it could then become a potential threat. Rivals and non-rivals aside, with PS5, Sony's corporate focus will shift from an overall sales numbers to those interested in the latest tech such as ray tracking and support for up to 8K, hoping that specs will be the console's greatest selling point. This console from Sony is currently without a release date window, but the general thinking is PS5 will release sometime during the holiday of 2020. Xbox Scarlet is slated for a holiday 2020 release and promises to deliver a new level of immersion, powered by the GDDR6 memory and next-gen SSD. It, too, will feature hardware accelerated by ray tracing and 120 FPS 8K capability. Microsoft also promises a variable refresh rate, ultra-low latency input, and backwards compatibility with 4 generations of Xbox consoles. Next year is going to be interesting.
I think that they're alienating themselves doing that. Now, I understand what they're doing, but what they're saying with the whole Nintendo thing is like, guys, I don't think you realize what Nintendo has started to do again. They're starting to come back to where they used to be. They're paying attention to the retro people, they're paying attention to the younger people, and they're paying attention to the heavy gamers. There's a reason why Xbox Live is going to Switch. There's a reason why they have big games like Monster Hunter and all the Pokemon games and so on and so forth. All the Zelda games. I mean, you're telling me Zelda is not a high quality intensive game?
Of course it is.
So I mean, yeah. I think what they're meaning and what they plan on doing is they're niching themselves. We are PlayStation. We do high quality, top end graphics games that you're going to be totally immersed in this. You're going to be, oh, what am I going to do next? I was just in a speeding chase in the back of a Jeep, trying to shoot people out of cars and stuff while back in Africa or something. So it's all crazy shit that's going on, but it's all that visual appeal for your eyes and stuff. And as for Xbox and where they're kind of hinting at where they're trying to go, it almost seems like they're probably going to incorporate a VR aspect, but push it. And I mean push it, by the sounds of it.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's the case, then they're all Sony and Xbox are both niching themselves so much, whereas Nintendo is fleshing themselves out a little bit more and saying, hey, look at how much market we can actually use here if we actually put ourselves to it. And I think it's going to work for them. I think Nintendo's actually going to take a lead if they keep going in the direction that they're going.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of... I don't understand, like, the need for doing stuff like this. I mean, it's... Are you really that concerned that indie titles aren't going to sell that well for you and they aren't going to be a good selling point for your console?
Are you kidding? We just talked about an indie title that just got, like, the highest Kickstarter game ever. Or so. How much did you say it was? How much?
$5.5 million that they
given to people to have the game made. Random people just said, "Can you please make this game so that we can play it?" Was given to someone. One game, $5.5 million. You're telling me the indie games don't have potential?
It may have ended up being more than that by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 5.545 million. So it's like, I mean, come on, guys.
And how many other private backers are there and corporate and
exactly. So it's like you guys are like losing your mind if you don't think that the indie titles are really gonna they said that they're still gonna support the stuff, but they're not really gonna front or anything like that. I mean, it's like take a look at like the Switch and like how Cadence of Hyrule, where it's like getting such like super high reviews and everybody seems to love the game and everything like that. It's like, come on, guys, like.
And for the people who haven't played Necrodancer, they're gonna play Cadence of Hyrule and be like, well, shit. If
this is really
Necrodancer's like this, I want to play this game. All of a sudden, that game's gonna get a big pile of extra money and revenue because people are enjoying this other game.
Right. So
they're being smart.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that like AAA titles are what most of the people are going to play. If you ever go on to, anything that's being played on PlayStation 5 on Twitch or PlayStation 4, I'm sorry, it's all going to be AAA titles. You got your Black Ops, you got that sort of stuff, Battlefield.
Poop out all the Call of Duties you want, all the Battlefields, poop them all out, and keep them with your PlayStation. I'm fine with that. I don't buy a PlayStation for that. I buy a PlayStation usually for specific titles. Same as I do for any other thing. I don't have an Xbox One because there's nothing that, in particular on Xbox, that really catches my attention. But there's plenty on PS4 that it has and that it can do. And same thing with Switch. I don't have a Switch, but I'm dying for. Again, I'll say this every fucking week, Nintendo. If you got one lying around, like you were using it to dry the floor after someone mops or something, I'm more than happy to take it. Anything at all.
But I think like the one selling point for me. The one selling point for me for the PS5, one of the few reasons why I would ever want to buy it is because of that backwards compatibility that they're talking about. Yeah. Being able to play PS1 games on your PS5. I think that's a great idea, provided that they give you the same support for memory as they did for the original systems. Like, unless it's going to be using like an internal memory or something like that, then whatever.
I don't know if you read that right or not, but you know that it was Microsoft saying that, right?
For the backwards compatibility?
Microsoft also promises a variable refresh rate, ultra low latency input, and backwards compatibility with 4 generations worth of Xbox consoles.
Shit. That's Xbox.
So it's not Sony that's doing that, it's actually Xbox. Sony originally was doing that, and then they were all like, meh. And I'm just like, why? Again, like, you guys could re-release these games. Like, here's 20 PlayStation games on a PS5 disc, and people be all like, yum.
Could you imagine, like, what would happen if, like, all these classic PlayStation games, you know, like Final Fantasy VII, like a lot of the Final Fantasy series, can you imagine what the market for these games would, how they would increase if Sony just goes, oh, by the way, backwards compatibility all the way back to PS1? Can you imagine how, like a used game market would be like, oh, all of these games that were previously worthless because you had to buy the original the original hardware for it are now going to be playable on a PS5? Alright, cool.
Not worthless.
So, I think honestly, like, you really should consider who is playing your game, Sony.
Yeah.
So, this is something that I personally want to play myself. My friend Pedro, 250,000 units in its first week on the PC and Switch. My friend Pedro has only been out for a week and it's already sold 250,000 copies. My friend Pedro was announced during the Developers Digital's E3 2018 conference and released last week on June 20th. Side-scroller is a violent ballet about friendship, imagination, and one man's struggle to obliterate anyone in his path at the behest of a sentient banana. Here, players shoot their way through various levels and can enjoy action in slow-mo on occasion. Developed by Dead Toast, the game also features split aiming, acrobatic moves, and all sort of other crazy antics. It is available now on Switch and PC and is currently 15% off for $16.99 until July 9th through Steam. I wish that article would have actually had some gameplay, but it doesn't have anything, and it's just the developers talking. But
it has some, but it's just kind of in passing kind of stuff.
Yeah. If you haven't seen my friend Pedro, this game looks really, really, really cool. It reminds me a little bit of Hotline Miami, but in like a 2D aspect of it. So it's just going to be like run, gun, do silly things, and go take a look at it.
Hey, Sony, 250,000 copies in a week. Any games go nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, just like, look, guys, look, 250,000 copies in a week for an indie game.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it does, man.
I mean, come on. So, my friend Pedro is already available, so go take a look. So, Google can't say how much games are going to be on Stadia, and said that they aren't going to be any cheaper. Google has clarified that it doesn't expect games sold on Stadia to be cheaper than they are on other platforms such as PS4 or Xbox One. This particular point is important because until the free base version of Stadia launches sometime next year, anyone looking to jump in this November will have to fork out the $10 per month Pro tier. In other words, you will be paying for the service and purchasing the games you want on top. I don't know why it would be cheaper, Stadia head Phil Harrison told Eurogamer this week. Harrison's argument is that players will have access to their purchased games on any screen they own and their theoretical maximum fidelity. For these reasons, the games industry veteran does not see prices on Stadia being cheaper. With that in mind, Harrison wouldn't say if this translates to the standard $60 or more. The publisher or the developer is in as much control of the prices as we are, so it's a bit difficult for me to say what the prices will be right now. But we are obviously going to be very aware of prevailing prices in the marketplace. Stadia launches November 19th, but only the Pro tier will be available at that point. The Launch Pro will offer up to 4K, 60 FPS streaming, and 5.1 surround sound, assuming your connection can support it.
Man,
I don't get it.
I don't see this working, dude. Now, if that's what they plan on doing,
If, first of all, you're going to tell me that I have to buy the Pro tier, And now my games aren't going to be any cheaper?
Well, Scott,
stream on Twitch.
Don't you want to like get yourself an Xbox and then not be able to play it unless you have an Xbox like Live account?
Fair enough.
You know, that's the only way to play your Xbox now. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yay! I have a brick until I pay for a little code to let me online and play my games.
This is so silly.
Yes,
this is so silly. It's like...
I don't know why it would be cheaper. What do you mean you don't know why? You could do something cool for the people who are shelling out extra money for your pro tier. Right. That's why it would be cheaper.
This was the same argument. This is the same argument that I had in my Bloodstained review. I didn't feel like $40 for the digital copy was right. I felt like $40 for the physical copy, yes, I get that. You have the physical thing in your hand. You can, this is yours forever, physical. For a digital copy of the game, I feel that there can be a bit of a discount, And for them to go, oh, by the way, not only do you have to have this hardware, you have to have this $10 pro tier, and now you're going to be paying full price for the games?
I can see Stadia going out like, ooh yeah.
Do you need a bigger gun to shoot yourself with? Because you're using like rocket launchers at this point to shoot yourself in the foot.
Do you remember what happened with the Dreamcast?
Yeah,
a lot of great games now. Don't get me wrong, but Dreamcast came out way too early. It should have waited. I think Stadia is doing the same thing. Hey guys, look at all the fancy technology we got, and everyone's all like, "Yeah, it's nice, bye. We've already got an Xbox and a Switch and a fucking PlayStation, so I'm good. I've got Steam. Oh, but you can play it on anything. Yeah, do you know you can do that with every console ever made? You can play it on any screen you want. Oh, well, ours you can just log in. You can still basically do that with any system. It's called an input device. And you just switch and you can do the same thing with an output device. So you switch your output from your TV in your basement to flick the one in your living room. All of a sudden, your game is upstairs. Oh, well, how am I going to play my game if it's all wireless? You know you can get RF adapters now, so you can put one on your controller, you can put one on your game system, and it actually transmits the shit for you. There's so much crap out there now. Like, don't get on to me with your fucking random ass fucking technology. There's more than enough technology out there to make this thing look like it's not that special at all. Right. I mean, Ouya claimed the same types of thing, like, hey guys, look at how small our thing is, everyone's going to love this, and the developers get all over it. But, if you just claim that, and you're not going to put in the effort or listen to your audience or, the people who you want to play this, then what do you expect to do? You're not going to sell anything. Why would I buy something if it doesn't look appealing at all?
And right now, the Stadia doesn't look appealing at all.
5.1 surround sound. Whoa! Wait, what? Is that a hot like? Isn't 7.1 the big thing? I mean, aren't they moving on? Like,
if your connection can support it.
God damn. Yeah, 4K and 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Anyways, Stadia, I can see right now, like, unless Google again is gonna get one to me, I don't see myself ever having one.
No.
I'll buy one on eBay in 10 years.
Yeah. So, Pokemon Masters 3 is a 3v3 real-time battle game coming to iOS and Android this summer.
Ooh.
Nintendo and Dina lifted the lid on their next Pokemon mobile title today, Pokemon Masters. During a short presentation, Nintendo revealed more information on it. Announced in May, Nintendo confirmed that the free-to-start mobile title is a 3v3 real-time battle game. In it, you will form teams of trainers and Pokemon to compete on the island of Paseo. For the very first time in a Pokemon game, trainers and their partners and Pokemon from every Pokemon region will come together to form sync pairs. Players can team up with duos such as Karina and Lucario, Brendan and Trico, Claire and Kingdra, and many more. With all sorts of trainers on Paseo, there are sure to be some exciting and unexpected encounters along the story. At launch, there will be 65 sync pairs to recruit, with additional sync pairs to come out following release. Once a player has made friends with the sync pair, they can recruit these friends to form a team of 3 trainers and their 3 partner Pokemon, after which they will battle AI opponents to become champion of the Pokemon Masters League tournament. How battles work: you will command a squad of 3 sync pairs in real-time battles. During the battle, your AI opponent will do the same. You will also be able to command trainers in battle to use moves and healing items to increase Pokemon stats. In addition to standard moves, sync moves can also be deployed. There are more powerful attacks that are performed by syncing specific pairs. When in battle, you will need to keep an eye on your move gauge. It will refill over time. Pokemon Masters will be available worldwide as a free-to-start game with in-app purchases on iOS and Android devices this summer. Below is an example of Pokemon and Trainer Sync pairs included at release. You'll have Red and Charizard, Brock and Onix, Misty and Starmie, Rosa and Snivy, Blue and Pidgeot, Cynthia and Garchomp, Iris and Haxorus, Claire and Kingdra, Brendan and Trico, Flannery and Torkoal, Thornton and Bronzong, Karina and Lucario, Acerola and Pylosan, and Barry and Piplup. This looks pretty cool.
Is Brock still like fucking like 8 or something? What the fuck, man?
You know how Pokemon is, man. Nobody ages in Pokemon.
Come on, man. Look at the Simpsons.
I mean,
oh wow.
I hope. I mean, they also show some other ones. They have Lance in like the main picture. You can see Lance and Dragonite. You can see Steven and Metagross. You see Red and Charizard, Diantha and Gardevoir. So there's going to be some pretty cool combinations to be had out there. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. This looks like it's going to be a really cool idea. Like being able to say, hey, I'm going to try to find some groups and see how their sync moves work together. You know, maybe Charizard and Gardevoir may do some strange things together, or you know, but Steven's Metagross and Brock's Onix are going to have some sort of, you know, rock, steel, throw him, and discus toss thingy. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there just for thought. But, you know, this looks like it's going to be a pretty cool idea, you know? So, it feels like it's going to be like a sort of, like, pseudo MMO sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe. But definitely looking forward to this. It's not coming out soon enough. I hope it's relatively soon. So, Link's Awakening Remake has very minimal changes. Link's Awakening was near perfect to begin with. The remake isn't going to mess with the design. As the old saying goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to remake a classic too, as we're seeing Resident Evil 2 is big budget, flashy, and generally faithful. The FF7 remake looked like it's going to be more of a modern reimagining than a beat-for-beat remake. And then there's Link's Awakening, which steps beyond an HD remaster, but is an absolutely faithful love letter to the Game Boy original.
Yeah, this looks
It has
so
a snazzy presentation, but this is the same game. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening is without a doubt one of the best entries in the Zelda series. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that is by no mean feat when you consider that this is a franchise home to several of the best games of all time. There's something really joyous about Link's Awakening, though. After the fairly dark good versus evil story of Link to the Past, this is a Zelda series experimenting, going off on an unrestrained tangent and seeing where it leads. The result is a charming journey across brilliantly ethereal land with memorable characters, weird cameos, and a core that's totally pure of heart. Developer Grezzo has become a pretty solid partner for Nintendo, working on Nintendo 3DS ports of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Luigi's Mansion, as well as developing Zelda spin-off Triforce Heroes. They very much know what they're doing, and Link's Awakening is as faithful a recreation as the studio takes on the N64 Zelda games get, even with this much more significant upgrade. Grezzo is now sort of taking on the role as Capcom had in the Game Boy Color years, handing smaller scale Zelda titles, and that's quite exciting, as an ex-Capcom folk like Hidemaru Fujibayashi, now leading the series, having cut their teeth on handheld games. As for the demo, I make the mistake of telling Nintendo rep this one of my favorite Zelda games, if not my absolute favorite. Thanks to that, I'm then jokingly challenged to finish the game's first dungeon with the demo's strict 15-minute time limit. I almost managed it, but ran out of time with a few final screens of the dungeon. Playing like this has advantages for the purpose of a preview, however. While other people plot around the overworld or frit for their time away on Maeve's Village Crane game, I'm running down to the beach for my sword, then back up to the woods battling moblins and grabbing magic powder, then down to the dungeon. And it's all muscle. It doesn't look as I remember it, but it actually is how I remember it. And there's something quite magical about that. There's no rose-tinted glasses necessary because Greaser has lovingly baked all that tint into the very cartridge. Being how you remember it and also acceptable to modern players carries certain requirements with it. So Link Awakening is subtly changed. The Game Boy original had only 2 action buttons, for instance, so you could unequip your sword and shield to use other items. Now your sword and shield are permanently bound to certain buttons, and you get 2 swappable item slots handy. This might also make tougher sections of the game a touch easier for modern sensibilities, as it means that the shield, which you barely ever used in the original, is now only a button press away. Enemies are tweaked to better take advantage of this. The moblins in the forest used to walk around robotic loops until they spotted you in the original, but now they wander in a more natural way. The shield moblins could previously be efficiently defeated by a poke war and a spin attack, but now are best off by using your shield to stun them after they attack. It'll be interesting to see how these mechanical changes stack up in the final release, as a bunch of little changes could add up to something significant. Thus far, this appears to be a solid remake, and then albeit with one with creaks and groans here and there that'll hopefully be ironed out for release. In particular, a frame rate that occasionally struggles some likely related graphical issues that feel a little too aggressive. These things are hopefully easily remedied, however. There's all new content too, including a dungeon originizing mini-games that feel like the first baby steps towards a proper Zelda Maker game, but are really here for the original Link's Awakening, which really looks great at this stage. I can't wait to fall in love with Link's Awakening all over again. I do imagine many newcomers will fall for its considerable charms as much as I did in the 90s. I mean, yeah, you could see how, like, there's like those little changes. Like he was talking about how like the moblins no longer just like kind of walk around like they're, you know, just literal AI programmed robots, you know.
Yeah. They actually move with you, so like you can't just hit them with the sword from the side as easily and stuff. But I haven't played any Link's Awakening myself, but this looks so good. And
for what it's worth, you know, it like it said, it was like one of like the best Zelda games in the franchise, and it really is, you know. And like there are tiny little bits to the game that just make it just as good as it is. The dungeons in the game were really, really good, and I want to say like if not like some of the best dungeon designs in any like 2D top-down Zelda, and it was a good game. I was here and talk about it some more, but we got other things to do. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, there's no fucking justice in the world. Twitch has reinstated Dr. Disrespect's channel after banning it for only 2 weeks. In a move everybody predicted, the Twitch channels for Guy, Dr. Disrespect Be Him is once again live for all viewers. The channel went live overnight, though the streamer has yet to actually host a stream. This was of Wednesday, by the way. The most recent stream archive is from 16 days ago, which means that the infamous bathroom stream will not be archived. Streaming from a public bathroom at E3 is, of course, what earned the channel the ban in the first place. 2 weeks after the typical ban period of Twitch's top streamers, which Dr. Disrespect is certainly among, BM hasn't addressed the incident directly as of the writing of this, other than to say that he's fired director Alex, a fictional character he often shouts at during his streams. Since then, he posted a recap video on his YouTube channel featuring his trip to E3, but that's about it. Of course, even though Be Him has yet to go live, his Twitch stream channel chat has been incredibly active with comments and new subscriptions. If his return stream from earlier this year following a break is any indication, Dr. Disrespect's first stream on the newly reinstated channel will likely break Twitch records. Why? Just... Now, here's the thing. If you did that, Stefan, do you really think you get your channel back?
You're asking, that's a joke, I hope. We're not important enough, see, Scott? Now, if we were bringing in all kinds of money, and, you know, we you know, hey, look at this, I'm selling Coke to children. Isn't that cool? But that's illegal. Oh, that's fine. I'm just going to have my channel taken for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back up. Perfect. But I'll get all that nice publicity from it. It's more or less, it's Twitch basically saying that they're all right with you doing something illegal on a stream.
Provided you're popular.
Provided you're popular. And that's just like, man, that is terrible. And that's one of the reasons I think that Twitch is going to end up... I don't know. Something's going to happen. Another platform's going to come along. And Twitch is slowly going to go in the way of YouTube, where the bigger audience is not going to be following that anymore.
Right.
Look at us.
Like,
do you know how many of us came over from YouTube over to Twitch all at the same time from the Let's Play community? Because YouTube turned to trash because they didn't care about the smaller people? Do you know how those bigger people became bigger people? They were small people. All it takes is 1-2 streams, that's it, for something to happen that you blow up, and that's it. Then you're popular.
Yep.
Now, is it going to happen to me? Maybe, maybe not. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that you're basically saying it's okay to do something illegal on a stream as long as you're popular, and that's not okay. And believe me, I love Twitch. I love this platform. It's great. So many great people over here. They allow me to do my podcast and all my other streams. Thank you very much. But you guys have to look at this from a standpoint of anybody else who's not getting this huge revenue from this guy.
Have to make,
it's just
not
right.
You have to make the small guy just as accountable as the big guy.
Or actually, vice versa. You have to make the big person as accountable as the small person. If we did that, we'd lose the channel. There's no more getting the channel back. There's no two-week ban. It's just outright delete. You're gone.
Yep.
Same thing should happen to the bigger streamers.
ISP ban too, so that you could never
stream
on Twitch again.
Well, no, because you can just change your IP address.
Well, okay.
But what I'm saying is that delete the channel outright. Oh, but there's so much that they don't. Who cares? If they're popular enough and they start a new channel, they'll get back their main audience.
It's literally their fault for doing something illegal in the first place. If you don't want your channel deleted, don't do illegal things. Don't, like, first of all, don't do just like the law illegal things. And then don't do things that break the TOS. I mean, it's that plain and simple. And then his response was to fire Alex,
who's apparently a guy fictional.
That doesn't actually exist. Like, come on. That's how you're gonna address this? You did something illegal, so your response to this is like, oh, I'm gonna fire Alex. This is his fault. You're not even gonna take responsibility for being like, hey, you know, I'm sorry guys, I did something that was illegal. It was stupid. It was in poor taste. I will make sure, you know, in the future that I don't care if you're Dr. Disrespect. I understand.
I don't even know who this guy is. I'll be honest with you.
I know who he is. I've watched his streams a couple times.
Okay.
But, you know, I understand that the Dr. Disrespect character is just that. He's a guy he's got a bad attitude. You know, he's full of himself and he's got attitude, you know. But, like, at the same time, there can be a point where, like, people understand the fact that Dr. Disrespect is a character. We get that. It's the same thing with, like, people who are like, oh, well, wrestling's fake. Well, we get that. We understand that. But we like the characters. We like the story that's brought along with these characters. We know that these people aren't like that in real world, you know? But at the same...
but that's the thing.
Yeah. But, you know, you can, for a tiny little bit, you know, just be you as a human being who can just admit to the fact that you made a mistake, you did something wrong, and at least just as a decent fucking person, own up to it. And he didn't at all.
And it just shows that Twitch is being ran by those people.
Yep.
Twitch doesn't have a handle on this stuff. Again, like, I know that it's great and all that these people are bringing lots of money into your pockets, but you got to think about the ethics behind some of that shit.
Yep.
Like, you got to be actually happy if you don't get a lawsuit from the person, like, from the underage person who was filmed in that bathroom at the same time. Like, they probably just meant to this guy, if at all. They might not. They might have said, "Oh shit, it's Dr. Spick! Yay! I don't care. Look at me pee." You know, fine. That's whatever. But imagine if it didn't turn out like that. Imagine if it turned out, okay, I'm suing you. Hey, did you know that you were also filmed and it was being put on live on Twitch to, you know, X amount of people? Oh, really? Well, now I'm gonna go after Twitch. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you're setting yourself up for bad shit to happen. Don't.
Yep. Just hold every single person who uses your media. Use every single person. It doesn't matter if you have 10 viewers or if you have 10,000 viewers or if you have 10 million viewers. If you do something that's against the terms of service and, God forbid, against the fucking law, you should be held responsible. Yeah. And like they're talking about like everybody expected him to get a 2-week ban, you know, like to do with all the popular dudes. You know what that was for him? A fucking vacation.
Yep.
He got to sit back for 2 weeks, drown in his fucking YouTube, his Twitch, whatever, all other social media money that he had. And he got to sit back for 2 weeks and not have to do anything. Yep. It was a vacation. So, yeah, did he lose money? Probably. But who cares?
Yeah, right.
He's one of the most popular YouTuber, or one of the most popular Twitch streamers on the whole site. So it's not like he's hard up for money. You know? So
but that's the thing. He's probably going to get more now. More people are going to end up watching because, oh, man, this guy's so badass. Is he really badass?
Yeah. So when he comes back, or whenever he did come back, I don't know because I didn't really check. Like they were saying that he would break Twitch records by having all these people on his channel now. So it's like, great, good job.
Disrespect indeed to every fucking streamer on the platform.
Yep. So, if you're not into the new Contra, why not have some of that Blazing Chrome? Blazing Chrome is a side-scrolling shooter from Joymaster and has an official release date. Blazing Chrome was unveiled last year as a tribute to the classic Contra and Metal Slug. The premise is simple enough: if you move from left to right and eradicate everything in existence. To look at it close, the look is as close to Contra Hardcore as it gets. Hardcore is the less remembered but harder sequel released on the Sega Genesis, and Blazing Chrome looks to be following in its footsteps. Blazing Chrome has a roster of different characters with unique abilities and features 6 distinct levels. You really only need one look at the trailer, or at this trailer, to get a vibe of what it's about.
Wow!
It is out July 11th on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Oh, they're gonna be speedrunning this.
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh man, this looks so good, dude.
I mean, I saw this once, and I'm just like, June 11th, huh? Or July 11th. Alright, cool. I'm setting aside however many dollars it is, because this game looks freaking awesome.
It really does, yeah. I love the look of it. This is so good.
Right?
Oh.
And I'm a fan of the Contra series. I love Contra. And this, you know, like they were talking about, like, the lesser played Contra Hardcore, which I did play a lot of, because a friend of mine and I were, like, kind of, like, speedrunning before speedrunning was a thing. So we was, like, you know, 12-year-old kids in a basement going, let's see how fast we can beat Contra Hardcore. All right, let's go. How fast can we do it? All right, next week when we come and play again, we're going to beat that time. Yeah. This game definitely looks like it's going to be one of those.
Oh, yeah. That looks nice.
So,
you hear what I'm saying there, Sony?
Yeah. That indie game idea. Just saying. The two of us are sitting here gushing over this game. But you don't need it. So, last bit of news from me this week. Borderlands 3 is going to take 35 hours to finish the story. It'll take you about 35 hours to see the full Borderlands 3 story and do a little bit of side content.
And that's not with the grinding.
Yeah, right. It's no secret that Borderlands 3 is a much bigger game than its predecessors. The game world alone, which this time around encompasses multiple different planets, is larger than anything seen in Borderlands to date. The hour count as a result is going to climb, and this time around Gearbox says it'll take about 35 hours to finish the main campaign and do a few side missions. To see everything in Borderlands 3 has to offer, it will likely take even longer. Creative director Paul Sage told GamesBeat that while the team approached every aspect with ambition, they didn't necessarily expand the world just for the sake of it. You want to stay true to the franchise, and yes, you want to have new and different things, but they don't always have to be bigger and better. Some huge feature. Oh, great! We're gonna add hang gliding to the game. We're not gonna do that. You can get far into it. This approach will be manifested in more than just pure scale, as Sage points out. Plenty of existing systems and mechanics have been updated and overhauled. If you went to the E3 booth, you saw us talk about some things that we have the guns populated from vending machines. They're just small things to a player, but again, they're introducing and reinforcing bigger things. All of these things that feel small take a lot of time and energy to get done, and done well. Gearbox is improving everything from weapon mechanics, sound, to player movement. Sage touched on a few clamber abilities, which lets you climb up ledges, and overhauled loot distribution for co-op. Borderlands 3 is to be out September 13th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. If you have Borderlands 2 installed, you should download and play the free Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary DLC, which bridges the story gap between the two games. So I might be a fan of the Borderlands games.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I haven't played too much of them. The little bit that I did play, though, I enjoyed quite a bit. I like the RPG first-person shooter aspect to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like it wasn't Fallout. So and that's why I like it. And again, if they're expanding their map size by having several planets and all this other stuff, I'm over in the corner.
Oh boy.
So yeah, believe me, I am all about exploration. Like, same thing with Elder Scrolls. I'm so looking forward to that, only in the hopes that they might have a map that's so immense that you can go to like the old places that you. Oh, let's go back to Sky. Oh, okay. Anyways, sorry, Borderlands 2. So yeah, this. And I mean, the game looks fantastic. Like, just the art style of it with the stroke cartoon effect kind of thing that they have to everything. Just, I don't know. There's something about it that's just nice and like sets it apart from all the other high-end graphics games and stuff that, you know, rely on just having everything as crisp as possible. This still has everything crisp, but that, like, again, that little bit of extra added contrast with the stroke is just so nice.
Yeah, and Borderlands has always been that game that's never taken itself too seriously. So there's so many comedy aspects. I mean, you know, Brick playing the saxophone. There you go. But you know, it's a game that's just like, you know, it's fun to play for everybody, and you can find yourself immersed in these worlds just because, like, just everything is so important. Everything is just like. You care about the characters, and, you know, you're really going to immerse yourself into a world that's now going to be so, like, 35 hours big, to where, like, the original Borderlands could be finished in, like, 15.
Yeah. I mean, and you're probably not thinking about, like, if you take into account story, if you're looking at a TV show that's, we say an hour long, but I mean, who are we kidding? We get about 40 minutes at most with all the commercials. So I mean, even at an hour long, that's 35 episodes to a really good show. But you get to be in that show, and you get to control what's happening. So,
right.
To me, that sounds fantastic.
Yes, sir. All right, well, that is my news for this week. So I will send it over to Stefan to give us some new world record times.
Indeed.
Okay. The right part of it first.
There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so yeah, we have a few more world records, and once again, we have a couple that have just traded hands back and forth, and it's been on the I guess been here all week, more or less, kind of thing. But see, I'm not even Englishing properly. One of these has been here like every fucking podcast. That's what I'm trying to say. God damn it. Alright, anyways, getting right into it. Our updates for the NES Speedrun World Records this week, starting off with Bandai Golf Challenge Pebble Beach, 18 holes, done in 7 minutes, 2 seconds by Matt Holmes. The one game that I was talking about, fucking Mappy Land.
Mappy Land, yeah.
All stages, one loop. 2132 by 01 Ogo Pogo. Arkanoid, any percent Japan. 3419 by High Rexon. Batman Prototype percent. Now, I have a feeling Scott's going to want to look this up because I've never heard of this either. Batman Prototype percent. 1125 by Junkyard Dave. He actually improved that record throughout the week, so. Our next game is Bases Loaded 2. We have 2 new world records on that. First, Lose a Game, 10 minutes 17 seconds by Mixmaster PJ. The second one is Win a Game, 14 minutes 35 seconds by Mixmaster PJ. Next up is Super Sprint, 1 loop, 7 tracks, 4 minutes 28 seconds by Mixmaster PJ.
Been busy this week.
Oh yeah, did you find a prototype percent?
Oh, I did not.
Oh, okay. We have Gemfire 80% at 15 minutes 12 seconds by Jacobo the Chocobo. Shatterhand 80% improved to 20 minutes 8 seconds by Tarbash. I didn't get to see that one. One that might interest Scott. Metroid 100% deathless, no major glitches, 50 minutes 2 seconds by Retro Gaming 2084.
Wow.
Next up is...
That's fast.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. Next up is Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. First 10 levels, 10 minutes 31 seconds by Mixmaster PJ. We also have Wizards and Warriors 3, All Guilds Glitchless in 32 minutes 7 seconds by Marquis Dan. Beetlejuice 80%, 11 minutes 57 seconds by... It's either Bass Guy 4 or Bass Guy 4. I'm assuming it's Bass Guy. But maybe he likes fishing like me. Anyway, sorry. Next up, someone we both know actually. Metroid Climb Percent. 21.667 seconds by Chicks42.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
Castlevania Whip Only. 13 minutes 19 seconds by Lehej or Lehiji. See, when they don't have different things capitalized, I don't always know. Marble Madness, 80% co-op by Yellsrake and Elipis. I did not get the time on that one, so we're going to lose Scott's face for a second.
I'm not sure what they mean by prototype edition because apparently there were different...
prototype percent.
Yeah, it seems like there were 2 versions of the original game, a prototype version and a regular final version of. And prototype percent is using the original prototype game.
All right, there we go. See,
so
Scott,
there you go.
Scott gets us all the answers. He's my source of information while I'm going through these.
I think Peter actually put something into the chat.
What's that?
Yep, it's exactly what I... Okay, never mind. I clicked on the same thing. Thank you, Peter.
Please link my link to SDK.
Yeah. No, I got it. I just, after I came back from the internet.
Next one I'm very happy about. Donkey Kong Game A 1 loop, 1 minute 3 seconds by Solo Q. Ha! With a webcam while he's playing. Ha! None of this fucking, here's the game, here's my timer, oh, am I playing? I don't know, maybe. Like, no, fuck that. Good job, Solo Q. Fucking props, man. Silent Service, Torpedo Gun Practice. 2 minutes 22 seconds by Galanorian Saber. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. One that got improved at SGDQ, Splatterhouse, Wanpaku Graffiti, 80% True Ending, 19 minutes 52 seconds by Stormcrow 56K.
Nice.
Next is Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf USA course,
yeah?
12 minutes 57 seconds by Matt Holmes.
Which course?
USA.
USA, 12 minutes. I'm gonna have to try that out. I love Lee Trevino. I mean, I have like an entire like playthrough of it on YouTube, and I think I'm one of the few people who actually have an albatross on YouTube. It's even like just like a little thing that says, "Hey, a double eagle on YouTube from Lee Trevino's fighting."
Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
And our last
about childhood games. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds terrible. I was like,
shut up, you.
Our last game for this week is Darkwing Duck Any Percent. Improved to 11 minutes 50 seconds by, it's either Stans or ST4NZZZZ. So I assume it Stans. I apologize that I don't know everyone in the speedrunning community. You can slap me around, by all means, comment, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, this is on YouTube. Alright.
I look like Stan. It's Stan ZZZ.
Stan. Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Scott.
So there you go. I just looked up his YouTube channel.
Alright, up next we're going to do my Steam Discovery Queue. This should be interesting.
Oh boy, my favorite
And if you look at the top there, I have a few news segments this week. There was a lot. Some of it's going to be short stuff, so don't worry. Anyways, let's start our Steam queue for this week. What do we got? We had no...
Pro Cycling Manager. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, I can't wait to play this game.
You take this bike and you bike here, and you take this bike and you bike here. Ha ha! I'm the best manager of biking. Like, why am I looking at their asses? No, I'm not fucking. Get out of here, you Pro Cycling Manager. Hardcore mecha, action indie, mecha anime, sci-fi shooter. Oh Jesus! Can we get a? I'm sorry, dude.
Gameplay, yeah.
Yes. Sounds like he's Japanese.
Okay.
Buzz. Buzz. What is this? Okay, here we go. Is this? No! You fucking took it as soon as I got some. No, go back.
Alright, we want gameplay, damn.
Is that literally like 2 seconds? Why are you teasing me like this? What's wrong with you? You want to fucking sell your game or not? God damn it.
Yeah, we'd like to, actually see some...
Oh. It was so short! Okay. 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 No. Just gameplay.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, some of the things that I've seen so far look pretty... That's just another movie. That's just another...
Oh. Okay. Oh, it looks good, actually. It looks really good.
Oh. Oh.
It's almost like a Gundam type thing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like
right?
this. This is alright.
Like
Oh, and there's a regular person
Mega
thing.
Man.
Okay, this might have some potential.
Right? Oh, are there cutscenes? We didn't know. We were unaware. Thank you for letting us know that there were cutscenes.
I guess they're really pushing the story. That's good.
Right.
I guess they're trying to establish themselves a story so that people have
It's
something
like
to
a
connect
Mega
with.
Man meets Gundam meets Blaster Master a little bit.
Meets Ligretti. Alright, well, I forgot to mute that one, which means we're probably going to get hit for copyright strike. So you might not hear us freaking out after, but it's alright. I almost exited that. God damn, next in queue. I didn't, shit. Yeah, go back. Haha, I'll add it to my wish list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, I know where I am in my queue, stop it. Hell is other demon. Oh, hello. Hello, hello.
Oh.
Okay, it's a shooter.
Okay.
It's platforming. Is this just like endless shit coming at you while you're platforming and shooting? Oh.
Kinda looks like it.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like you're really progressing through anywhere in particular. It
Yeah.
just keeps looking like it's just more platforms in the same kind of spot. Not even reading what's on screen. I'm trying to see the gameplay.
I know, right?
I mean, I can see this as being challenging, but I don't know if it'd be something I'd
This
be
kind
into.
of like makes me feel like this is something like shit. Now I'm gonna.
Oh, and of course, it's a great soundtrack.
The Metroidvania where you Rogue Legacy. It's like Rogue Legacy boss mode. The game.
Yeah, there's no inside the castle.
Yeah, I would play this.
I won't ignore it. I'm not gonna add it to my wish list though. But I mean, hey, if someone really wants me to try it, you know, I'll give
There's
it a
easy
go.
ways. Mother Gunship.
I'm not into first-person shooters that much. I apologize. I mean, some of the ones, like, you showed me Doom there not too long ago, that looked good to play. I'm not gonna lie, that looked fucking great. And like I said then, I didn't feel like that about a first-person shooter game in a while. What the fuck is this?
Totally reliable delivery service. Beta. So, what? The fuck?
Okay. Okay, not gonna lie. I hated this at first, now this looks fucking hilarious.
What the fuck am
I was gonna ignore this, but I'm not anymore. This is just too funny.
Jesus.
Everyone get the boxes aboard! Oh shit, we're gonna keep going. Just grab the truck!
I can't remember what the hell the game was called. It was, I want to say it was a Dreamcast game where you were like frogs, like fighting over who could do bigger stunts and crap like that. Game Grumps played it at one point, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was like, it looks like fun. I mean,
I'm gonna add it to my wish list, unfortunately.
the idea looks so stupid, but like, it just looks like it would be fun though. It's a hidden object game.
Robin likes playing these just because they're pretty simplistic. I understand that. It's not for me though.
No, me either. My wife loves the hidden object games too. I don't get it.
Project Arrhythmia, music, bullet hell, which all things beautiful are dead. No, don't do this.
Did you say bullet hell rhythm game?
Apparently? I don't understand yet. I mean, I guess so? Scott?
I don't get it either. You said bullet hell rhythm, and that doesn't look like either.
Alright. Glad this popped up.
Yep.
Scott.
Alright, folks. I'm gonna give you the fucking get down with this. We talked last week about 1980X. Alright? We went in and we talked about, hey man, this game looks so fucking awesome and blah blah blah. First time in the history of me having Steam, and I've had Steam, I think, probably close to 10 years, if not more at this point. I think I actually have the 10-year badge, so probably more than 10 years. It is the first time in 10 years of me having Steam I went through a refund. This game is the epitome of false advertising. Alright, so even in our Discord, we went, and I can't even say we, Stefan advertised it because we were when we saw it last week, we're like, man, this looks really cool. This, all these retro gaming things and all that, this game looks like it's going to be awesome. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to try it. All of the gaming portions of the game are in that preview that you just saw. It's a visual novel. It is not a gaming. It is not a gaming thing. And sometimes part of the games rip you out of it to visual novel you. Like the Streets of Rage part, when you get to the final boss, it pans away to visual novel. You don't even get to finish it. when they did the outrun section of the game, looked pretty nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go through like Outrun does. You go through the first 4 sections, and then you go to the final section, which is racing on the highway, of which they add 2 minutes and 20 seconds to your timer. So right there where it says, that section right there where it says 86 seconds, that person who's been playing the game has been driving straight for over 2 minutes. You literally drive straight for 3.5 minutes while you get visual noveled.
Wow, that's kind of disappointing.
The RPG section that you're looking at right there is unbearably difficult. And it is part of the visual novel.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The parts that they show look fantastic, and I'm sure you said yourself that playing it was good. It felt good. And,
yeah, the gaming sections of it were great,
but
they didn't do anything with them.
If it's a visual novel, that needs to be a tag right there on Steam. That's how I feel. Don't get me wrong, pixel art, I fucking love pixel art. Love it to death. Love so much. King of Fighters, some of the best pixel art backgrounds you'll ever see for like more or less an animated GIF. I'm saying GIF, it's not fucking peanut butter. I mean, look at that. That's a fantastic picture right there where he's just sitting there looking over the city. That is great. I love that.
Yeah.
But if that's what your game is mostly a visual novel, you need to have that as a tag on Steam, because otherwise that is kind of false advertising. Yep. Yes, it says cinematic pixel art storytelling, but you're not saying that most of the game is the storytelling. Mm-hmm. And again, I appreciate stories, I appreciate pixel art, but if you can do this in just small spurts, just expand on it. Do 1980X -X, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it, or 1990X. And you know, that's fine too, but include a lot more of the gaming aspects that you're showing, because that's what people are seeing in the trailer. That's what have most of your pictures there are from the gaming aspects of the of the game itself. So that's what people want. Give them that. Give them a challenge. Don't give Outrun a straight line. Make it so that, you know, people are actually challenged. Make yourself come back to it several times. Make it a good segue between like night and day, or going from this place to that place in the visual or virtual novel, wherever you want to call it. You know, just make it more playable. Make it so that people want to watch and read your visual novel, or again, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, they allude to the fact that there's going to be another game. Okay, they even say to be continued.
Well, I hope that they do better with it at the very least.
Whether or not that's just like hey, it's a video gaming thing, to be continued, blah blah blah, or there's going to be a sequel or whatever like that. It's like, okay, but I now have no interest. Okay, so here's my other complaint about it. It's a $10 game. All right, I get that. You know, from the moment I hit play to the moment I quit the game, I had and finished the game, okay? I finished the game fast enough that it was still qualified for a refund. And, by the way, Steam only gives you 2 hours. From when I started it to when I quit, it was 68 minutes.
Jesus.
That includes the opening scenes, the title screens, all the time it took to load from the beginning, the end credits, and the time that I jumped around in the menus, hoping that there was something that I missed. And there wasn't. So I probably actually finished the game in less than an hour.
That sucks.
And for what it's worth, none of the gaming sections actually threatens you to the point where you have to play the games proficiently. The Streets of Rage version, if you ever die, they just insert another quarter and you can continue. There's no point in it where you're ever like, oh, if I die, I'm going to have to start over. You don't. You blatantly are put into the game with no threat. The Shinobi section of it, like, if you die, you just start from the last checkpoint. You know? Okay. The shooting, the R-type point, I don't even know because I finished it without dying. So it's like, and the RPG section of it is nothing more than the game throwing itself into the character's world, where the RPG, instead of just enjoying RPG elements, you're being given the kid's inner turmoil between him and his parents.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of like a, hey, you know, this is a cool RPG, but now, like, whenever you defeat an enemy, it's like, my house, my rules. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, what are you going on about? Well, you know, when you die, it's like, you could never leave. Blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. And the problem
at the very least, now everyone knows that it's not as recommended as we had hoped. I'm actually going to remove that tag on the episode, because I'm actually including special tags in our timestamps saying when a game is recommended.
Yeah, so I can't say for a very long time that I've ever been like, I really regret purchasing this. And for 1980X, it was just like, it was absolutely nothing as advertised. You get those games, you get to play those games, you don't get to finish any of them. And like, some of the sections are so short. Like the outrun section, it was like 5 minutes, if even.
Jeez.
You know, the Shinobi section was really, really good. I liked that. I wish they would have been done more with it, but there was just nothing. And like I said, the RPG section was just unbearably difficult, and made it feel like it was like half the fucking game. It's like, and then the whole point was just like the kid having inner turmoil with the fact that he was having problems with his family. Like, I just wanted to play an RPG, man. That's all I wanted.
Can't have it all.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not gonna let Scott go on anymore because he's going on forever.
I'm done. I'm done.
Why? I don't want... No. Stop giving me this. Hey, look at me. Shapes and shapes. I don't... No. Sorry, but no. But... What the fuck is happening to my cube, man? What is this? Oh, it gets faster. Oh, watch it. Oh, wow.
That's it.
What if I just skip the blocks altogether and just don't shoot them? Because nothing's shooting at me. I don't understand.
People make money off this stuff, man.
I'm just gonna make fucking a game where you're a cube and you gotta find a fucking triangle somewhere. I don't know. Some 99 cents. You play it, right?
Yep. VR Poop Simulator 2019. All you do is
procedural generation. I think Wolfman would probably enjoy playing this. He plays a lot of those games, and Blind Man's World as well. Oh, I do like that there's a third-person aspect to it as well, though. That's kind of nice. Maybe that's all of it? No, now I'm confused. Jesus. Whoa! Oh, he's using a shield to bounce around. Pain. Okay, this doesn't look that bad.
It looks pretty cool.
Again, I won't add it to my wish list because I don't really want to play it. I'm not dying to play it by any means, but I'm not going to ignore it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the art style of it. It's like a big turnoff for me. Heroine of the Sniper.
What?
Sure.
Whoa. Okay. Again, it's not something I really want, but like, it's just kind of funny. Oh, the bullet's gonna get the helicopter! Boom! You don't need a helicopter. Oh, come on, man! Show the helicopter crash. No, I'm finishing the queue now. You didn't show the crash. Alright. So that's the discovery queue for this week. Not a lot of yays in there.
Yeah.
Mostly nays. Cycling Manager, you serious? All right, so moving into news.
Looking at guys' asses simulator.
We're moving into news now with Nintendo Life. First, starting off with Nintendo thinking about extending Switch online retro library beyond the NES software.
Good.
So at the Nintendo 79th Annual General Meeting of Shareholders, President Shuntaro Furukawa was asked about the possibility of retro software from platforms such as the Nintendo 64 and GameCube era appearing on the Switch in the future. In response, Furukawa said he had no new information to share, but did explain that the Japanese video game giant had been thinking about extending its online service and acknowledged fans who had been wanting to play certain older titles. Special thanks to Japanese Nintendo for translation. At this place, we cannot tell new information about future classic hardware among others, but we are thinking about providing an extension of the online service which is currently providing Famicom NES software, as well as other methods of providing them. We also recognize there are opinions wanting to play past titles. As of April this year, close to 10 million users have signed up to use the Nintendo Switch online service. At the time of the milestone, Nintendo's president noted how users were still enjoying NES offerings and wanted to make the service more attractive over the long term.
Good. Good.
Oh yeah.
They already have like right built into it the NES, the NES library, which just like holds like a whole bunch of just absolute bomb titles from the NES. So
yeah, and if they think about going into N64 and GameCube, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. This is a win.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Nintendo they're paying attention.
They've always been really good about that, where it's like, hey, we understand you guys like classic games. Here you go. Have this classic game again. Yay!
And then they're starting to realize, oh wait, people really want this classic stuff. Let's put on more.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they keep buying it. Let's put on more. Oh, they're buying it again. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, guys, people are buying this retro shit again. Let's keep getting money out of this stuff that we don't have to make because it's already made.
And there's like more and more generations now that haven't played all these old games, where it's like, hey, you know, I played Breath of the Wild, but I've never played The Legend of Zelda. Boom, there you go. And like I had some conversations in Discord where people were saying, hey man, the original Legend of Zelda is hard. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm also coming from like, you know, I've played the game like 1,000 times. So for me, it's not that hard anymore. But for people who've never played the game, Zelda 1 is fairly cryptic. You know, it's here's your sword, use your wits to go about finding things in Hyrule. Do you want hits?
Here's your lantern, burn everything and take forever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Alright, random Banjo-Kazooie meets the Wind Waker N64 compatible mod.
Sure.
Alright, so the demo takes place on Outset Island, the starting location of Wind Waker, and it's the only level currently planned for the final release. The task is a similar one. You collect musical notes, save Jinjos, and find Jiggly pieces.
Sure. Why not?
The mod, The Legend of Banjo-Kazooie, the Bear Waker, is done by Mark Kirko. As you unlock more Jiggles, you'll gain more access to more of the island. Having all of Banjo's moves from the start makes this task a lot easier. Interestingly, the background music is a 64-bit rendition of the main theme on Outset Island. The mod even works on original N64 hardware. N64 Today tested it out on a classic system and said the only noticeable drawback was the frame rate, which tends to suffer in the large open area of Outset Island.
I mean, for Banjo-Kazooie fans, hey, here you go, guys.
Again, I said some of these were going to be smaller things, just notable things that I think some people would find interesting. I didn't get to play much Banjo-Kazooies, and I've never played Wind Waker, so for me, it doesn't.
You can tell that he doesn't play Banjo-Kazooie because he is not calling them Jiggies. Just throw that out there.
Jiggies?
The Jiggies.
I don't know what that is. Anyways, next one, Clue Clue Land joins Hamster's Arcade Archives range on Switch. Alright, so Hamster's latest arcade archives release on Switch has been revealed. This time we're being treated to 1984 arcade title Clue Clue Land. Game released both as an arcade game on the NES in the same year, and recently joined the Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Switch online lineup of games. If you haven't played Clue Clue Land, it's... What would you compare it to? Make Tracks or...
Nothing. It's so weird.
It's almost like a Pac-Man type game. It's one of those one-screen...
It's unique.
Yeah.
It's really unique.
It is, yes. Basically, you make a pattern that they're looking for out of little coins that are hidden around the little dots that are there, and then you find an exit, and there's ways that you can kill the enemies and stuff. Anyways, it's a fun little game. The only thing is, the usual pricing of $7.99. That seems a little steep.
Yeah. I think $4.99 would have been a better choice for that.
Yeah, I probably would agree with you on that as well.
Well, we don't make the pricing, so...
No. Okay, 1 second. Alright, so now you can play your Nintendo 64 on modern displays with the Super 64 HDMI adapter.
Sure.
Alright, so this thing is actually kind of cool. The only bad thing that I know about it is the price point. So,
I have a guess, but I'm not going to throw it out there.
Aeon Super 64 is a plug-and-play solution which connects the N64 to any modern TV via HDMI. One end fits right into the back of your console, just as the original cables do. The other end is ready and waiting to accept a standard HDMI cable. Doesn't need any kind of external power source and is said to provide truly lagless input.
Okay.
Overcoming modern display woes isn't the only benefit, though. The Super 64 upscales the console's visual output to 480p, double that the N64 standard display. And the adapter features a slick mode, which is designed to round out jagged edges for an even sharper image. Pre-orders for the adapter are going live today, which might have been a little while ago. You can grab one for $150.
Whoa, that is way higher than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was throwing it at $80, and even then I thought that was going to be steep.
So you can make a pre-order for that. International shipping is available, but the product does not support PAL N64 models.
Well,
just to give you guys a heads up there. I know I have a lot of friends out there, especially listening right now, who use PAL. So it launches on the 22nd of July. I mean, it does look nicer, I'm not going to lie. It really does smooth things out if you go and like look at the different pictures and stuff.
But, oh man.
So, I mean, look at the star up here as an example. If you go to the original, you can see like these little lines, like little pixelated kind of things next to it. It smooths it the shit out. Again, don't get me wrong, it looks really friggin' nice. But for $150, I'll suffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing. I mean, I would love to have one of these, but I would never be able to afford
for
that.
For those of you who've got the extra cash, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, especially if you're an N64 collector, this is probably something you're going to get anyway. It's just for the sake of having it. But, I mean, hey, now you're going to be able to play on newer TVs at better quality. Double the quality, which is kind of nice. Alright, Japanese Mega Drive Mini Collector's Edition comes with 22 mini cartridges. A frame set of cute mock carts!
Why?
So, we have... Hey, here's a Sega CD and 32X. You can put them all together. You know what to do? Nothing. It looks funny. Here is a frame... Again, personally, yes. I would love that. That would be so cool. I'd hang it up, no problem. But, like...
Why?
To someone who's just passing by, they're going to be like, oh, wait, comes with 22 mini cartridges? Really? So I'll get 22 extra mini games to play? Oh, no. That would have been the smart thing to do. Can you imagine if those little mini cartridges actually were, like,
not even
new games?
I thought those were the actual games for the mini.
See?
I thought.
So I don't need to read any of this down here.
No.
Again,
Yeah.
see, look at how nice and cool they would have looked. Imagine you got like, oh man, I'm getting 22 extra games in my collector's edition on mini cards that actually work. This is going to be so cool. Like just mini SD cards. Like, you know, like a 32 megabyte one, or you know whatever the size of a fucking game. Games aren't even 32 megabytes. Like an 8 megabyte SD card, more or less. That would have been so cool. Why do you keep showing us these add-ons that do nothing, or like this additional stuff, when you could do something with it and make it so much cooler than what it already is?
Yep.
Again, moving on. See, and this is why. This right here, this is why this shit's happening. Sega's not worried about overwhelming audiences with retro content.
Yeah, because we fucking want it.
I.e., hey, what else can we try and make money off of? We're dying for some revenue over here. Sega, it doesn't look good when you're doing that kind of shit. I'm just going to say that, you know, stop with the bullshit. Do something cool. Anyways. Sega's quite happy to re-release its retro library of games on each and every system. If you're like us, you probably played the original Sonic the Hedgehog on a dozen different devices over the years. In a recent interview with GameIndustry.biz at E3 2019, Sega Europe's John Clark defended the company's decision to churn out these classic titles time and time again, explaining how it would never overwhelm its audience with retro content and would continue to make it accessible as possible. Here's exactly what the Executive Vice President of Publishing had to say. When do you ever stop reaching the audience? That there's always an audience there for one format or another. We've got great content, and we're never going to saturate the audience for all of that retro content. So I think we're going to continue to bring it out as broad and wide as possible. Sega, with the help of M2, is currently working on the Ages line for the Switch eShop. Apart from this, it's also releasing the Genesis Mega Drive Mini this September after AtGame's original device failed to live up to expectations. Getting baked, eat some cake, Sephiroth. Sorry. This is actually cool. This is fucking awesome. Limited run games to release physical NES and Game Boy Star Wars cartridges. I love this.
I don't know if you ever played the original Star Wars that went to the NES, but it's how do they say it? Fucking hard.
Yes, it is. But look at the packaging.
I know, it's awesome.
I want both. I don't even collect really for the Game Boy.
It looks like they're like action figures, and I like that. That's actually a really cool idea.
Alright, so they apparently at E3, limited run games teased what appeared to be a huge Star Wars announcement. The reveal showed that the company would be teaming up with Lucasfilm Games for some physical releases, but it wasn't 100% clear how this would actually work. Today, Limited Run has shared the news that physical Game Boy and NES cartridges are on the way, acting as the first two products to come from this new relationship. As of the 28th of June, Friday past, you'll be able to get your order in for Star Wars on your preferred retro platform. Check out the tweet below. A long time ago in a galaxy very nearby, Star Wars was released on NES and Game Boy. Now it gets a physical limited run re-release on June 28th at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. alongside Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Ooh. Get your copy of Star Wars on one of its original consoles this Friday. So there's limited orders going on sale that day, and at the same time limited quantities of stuff. So does that mean that it's over and there's no possible chance of still ordering? That's my question.
I hope not.
Buzz, stop with the limited shit. He knows people wants to gobble that up. Star Wars fans and gamer fans are going to want that just because look of it. It looks, like Scott said, it's in like action figure packaging. I want that. It's like, hey, my game's not hiding inside the box. It's right there. I can see it. I can even see what's going on behind it because it's in clear blue.
Alright, so there you go.
Oh, keep coming out with this shit, guys. Man. Alright, we're going to indie retro news now for some new retro news. I guess. Royal Hunt. Escape the boars in this new C64 game by Bimbarlade. Alright, let's go and have a look. Oh god, it's so loud. Oh, so screwed.
Yeah, look, C64.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Alright, so Royal Hunt by Bimbarlade. Whoa, blue to white. Go, go, go. Okay. Let's just go. Ooh, okay. Now remember, this is Commodore 64, everybody, so don't go for freaking out because it's not your NES. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? Oh shit, are you fucking dead already? What?
Reminds me of Metal Gear.
It reminded me of Gilligan's Island.
That too.
Okay, so apparently these boars are out to kill you, and goddamn. So what do? Do you just try to escape? Oh shit! Oh god! And they have fucking guns too. Okay, I thought that was just for the fucking picture. Never mind. Whoa, 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 dude! You need to get out, yo. Oh, he's gonna pop up close. He knows he is. Oh no! Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I could play this, and this would probably be really trippy. Just because you never know where the hell it's gonna pop up. Oh god, there's two now! Oh, this is terrible. That's... Oh wow, he's naked too. He got shot right in the ass. Shot in the ass. The retro tink. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't understand.
Wait, if you're close enough to the board to go away, is that...
Why is he naked?
I have no idea, but I'm glad I can't see his penis.
And we don't need none of that diddle dong.
Is it like a button? What's wrong with him? Maybe it's super cold there. Although then you... why would you be naked if it's so cold? So many questions. Alright, anyways. I would probably give this a go. It doesn't look like it's not terrible by any means. Oh god. Oh god. Ooh. I can see this getting harder, especially as the more you progress. And it looks like each screen is counted on the bottom with a little counter. Oh shit, man. See? That's what I'm talking about. That game looks fun.
Shot in the ass.
I could definitely give that a go. So... Oh wow, throughout the game you must traverse 80 randomly generated locations while avoiding boars that pop out of bushes with a gun in hand out to do you harm.
They did him harm alright.
Jesus. Alright.
He got shot in the buttocks.
Apparently it's already out, I guess? I'm trying to look. Yeah, it looks like it's already out. Yep, download, yeah.
Why is he naked though?
I don't know.
Stop.
He was out in the bush. Maybe he was out getting a wash. I have no idea. Got some set of tits on him though. Jesus Christ. Alright, anyways. Rade Blunner. Wait. Rade Blunner. Yeah, that's right. Episode 2, Cannibal. Way's Little Shop. Episode 2 of a new ZX Spectrum platformer by Iadvd. Look at those crazy ZX Spectrum colors though, man.
I know, right?
Alright. Look towards ZX Spectrum for 8-bit kicks. We've been told that John that Iadvd has released a second episode of ZX Spectrum game called Rade Blunner Episode 2. If you like platformers, you're pleased to know not only is Rade Blunner just as good as the first game, but it was again coded using the Latura engine by the Mojang twins. Mojang. Welcome to the second episode released by... I hate that I'm probably cutting up his name.
That guy.
What?
That guy.
Yeah, Iadvd. A new ZX Spectrum game for all to enjoy that features not just charming graphically designed rooms, but plenty of jumping antics, enemies to avoid, and if you're lucky, Just find specific icons to experience each level in glorious specky detail. For further details featured in this new episode, make sure to check out the forum link below. Okay.
Sure.
See, this is where I like it when they have actual trailers for it, just so we can see some actual gameplay.
Instead of just like one single screenshot where clowns blow up.
Now, next up we have Dice Skater, an addictive and unique game for the C64 by Geir Straume and Sean Connolly. Now, they have a video. Damn, where'd I get the music to? It's so good. Here I am, my sad music. Alright, here we go. Would you stop the fucking ads? I don't want ad. They're trying to sell me ad blocker. What?
An ad for ad blocker.
Oh, whoa. Oh, is it like ice physics? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's different. Oh. Oh, wow. This is cool. Wait, why could you bounce off of some, not others? Okay, so I guess you can... Oh my god, yeah, I can see... Oh, there is no timer, though. Or does it? Is it... Oh, no, there is! It's slowly going down as a bar. Alright. Damn. Bonus for remaining time. Hardly any. Beware of Rade. What? Yeah, I can see this being addictive. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Don't touch it.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, now I see what you're doing. That's Trixie. Trixie Fat Hobbitses. Oh, you missed that one. Get it. Oh, damn. He done that one even faster. Alright, anyways. Jesus. Alright, I would play that as well. That looks fun. See, that was a lot of the charm to a lot of those games back in the day. Oh god, you touched the red though. Oh, it takes away your time. Oh damn. Oh damn. Yeah, he's fucked. Alright. Yeah, so yeah, that was the charming thing about the Atari games and C64 games a lot of times, that you didn't really have much to go on, so it was more or less arcade action that you were hoping for than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go to our next one. Cruiser X79, a C64 shoot-'em-up preview teased by the Nude Dimension. Ooh.
Okay.
I know Scott loves some shooters.
Yes, I do.
Oh, it looks fast. For now. Where's the game? There we go. Do, 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 do. Well, this actually is running faster than I thought it was. And why does that sprite look familiar?
Okay.
Is this like Xerion or something? Or what is, no,
CBS.
Star Force. That's what
Star Force, CBS, even like Twin Bee a little bit.
Yeah. Did you, oh, was that the corn? Star Force to corn, and those are symbols. Usually they go flat. Oh no! Oh god, those were definitely anal beads.
If
it's gonna be anything.
it is called X79.
That's true.
It's
Indeed,
triple
Professor
X79.
Pervert. What are you teaching next semester? Ogling 101? Jizonometry?
Jizonometry.
You can't learn jizonometry in the classroom. You gotta get out in the field.
It
And,
looks
you know,
nice, but it's really
jack off
nothing
in the
new.
field. Some
No,
scarecrow watching. Oh man, that
The
dude's
enemies
fucking
don't look
weirdo.
like they're well thought up though. It's the only thing I've been seeing so far.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit slower paced than I would have liked, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, again, it's a shooter for C64, so it's running fast for a C64 game. Man, you got killed by those anal beads again, dude. Alright, let's move on.
Yeah.
Death by Anal Beats. Oh, so the PlayStation Classic 128 gigabyte retro console bonanza.
7,500 games, huh?
Aaron White, Arcade Punks has launched the big 128 gigabyte build for the PlayStation Classic. The little mini console based around the original PlayStation, except with a poor game choice, subpar emulation, poor image quality, lack of enhancements, and PAL. Can now be enjoyed to the max with a massive amount of supported emulation and a ton of games. Mad Little Pixel was happy to go through some of the emulation and eye-popping gameplay. As he noted under his video, he had taken a look at a new PlayStation Classic 128 gigabyte plug-and-play build, which features 25 plus consoles and over 7,500 games. Includes Dreamcast, Nintendo DS, Sega CD, PC Engine CD, TurboGrafx 16, and many more. Yeah. So anyways, this is a real thing, which I can understand for people who are just like, hey, my kids are kind of interested in some video games, I'm just going to toss. This is something I would give my kids. If I had kids, I'd be all like, no, you're not touching that. That's my shit. Take this thing. Here. If you fucking scrap it, that's on you.
I have 7,500 games. If you ever say that you're bored, it's because you haven't played one of them.
Exactly. See, Scott fucking knows.
See, I get it. I got kids.
The PlayStation Classic continues to be one.
So it looks like he's just going over a lot of different features there. So there is a 16-minute video basically talking about all the different features to the new plug-and-play console that they're talking about here. So that's pretty cool. I would say that it's moddable. More likely. So, again, if you're someone who's into that sort of thing, I mean, sure, it could be, you know, something you could use. But, I mean, personally, and especially as someone who speedruns, I wouldn't be able to use one of these plug-and-play devices like this.
Probably
not. All right. Ooh, I was looking at this earlier this week. Grelox. An action platformer with a retro vibe. And, yes, it does look super cool. All right. And I was actually talking to them on Twitter as well. Last year, Indie Retro News featured a really cool looking game called Grelox, an upcoming game by some team. It's not only an action platform, but it has a retro feel for an old Master System game with inspirations to Zillion and using the Master System palette. Thankfully, the game is still progressing well, as not only do we have a couple of exclusive screenshots to show, but Grelox is the very final stages of completion with the PC version due soon. Alright, yes indeed, this is one to keep an eye on in the upcoming months, as not only does Grelox have plenty of enemies to deal with through a multitude of rooms, but there's 7 areas with 3 difficulty levels. Terminals that need to be hacked to open other areas, 2 selectable stages between each zone, and the game is brimming with fabulous retrotastic designs that make you feel like you're playing a game released all those years ago as a classic hit on the Sega Master System. Yeah. Grelox by Sunteam. Sunteam.co.uk for those wanting to go have a look. The game looks so good. It really does. I wish there was some
gameplay footage, yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like it's an action platformer. The few screenshots that I've seen of it looked so good. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, we've been you know, tricked before by that type of stuff, but
yep,
this looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, we can come back to it a future time when they do have some, you know, gameplay footage for us. We can definitely hit it up again.
Here's some gallery look. Looks like there's some sort of sword mechanic here. That's a big ass shark or dolphin. Definitely. Alright. So we were talking about Minit before coming to C64. Well, here is the full reveal.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see. Thanks to Bootleg Collection and G-Make for some of their past titles and a very cheap Steam release needing brand new arcade machine. Minit is a top-down arcade puzzle. You only get a minute per life in order to make progress. See, this is all talking about the game again. Sorry. My bad. Welcome to the game pack. Oh, there's even already early in-game footage to show off and a mock-up of the game's packaging and cartridge. This could well be another co-op release with Retro Gamer CD, who produced last year's Thalamus hit, Hunter's Moon. Thalamus produced some of the very best C64 games back when the system was still selling more than any other computer. And onwards toward the end of its shelf life with gorgeous 16-bit looking games such as Creatures, Summer Camp, and Mayhem and Monsterland. The renewed support for the system is great news for the whole retro community. Minit for C64 scheduled for late 2019. So yeah, that's what we were trying to look at. This is what they're hinting at, is what's coming up for the release.
Cool looking
actual
stuff, so.
cartridge.
Yeah, right?
That is fucking awesome.
There are very few of these retro games that actually have some physical hardware for you to have, so...
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's, for a game concept that looks as cool as that and has physical hardware, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, and any game that's being released and any kind of cartridge for any old console like this, if anyone ever hears about any of that stuff, by all means, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Discord, Facebook, whatever you gotta fucking text me, I don't care. But yeah, let us know, because this kind of stuff I find is really cool.
Snail mail.
Yeah, right.
Whatever you gotta do.
Use the United States Postal Service and Canada Post in order to send us information about games that are probably out 2 months after we get the fucking letters. Anyways, moving on. C64 Mini is going large and feature-packed. Full-sized version of the 80s best-selling home computer.
Really?
With the resurgence of retro gaming hardware enabling us to play old classics on big TVs with lots of built-in games such as the NES, SNES, and PlayStation 1 Classic, Neo Geo Mini, PC Engine Mini, C64 Mini, you'll be forgiven in thinking there wasn't much else to get excited by the end of the year. Well, the C64 crew have something to shout about, and in a pretty big way, as they've just announced the full-size version of the C64. Which is coming December 2019. A Christmas gift. SM. As noted by the post on Facebook, the full-size C64 has a full working keyboard. Oh, those keyboards, so mechanical and click, click, click. Comes with an updated micro switch classic joystick, which plugs into one of the 4 USB ports and connects to any modern TV via HDMI. It features 3 switchable modes, boots straight into original C64 Basic, VIC-20 Basic, or switch to Games Carousel. Carousel. Play one of the 64 built-in games in 50 or 60 Hz, with optional CRT filters and screen modes.
That's cool.
If that wasn't enough to get you excited, they also go on to say, as well as the classic C64 and VIC-20 Basic modes, the pre-installed games include such classics as California Games, Paradroid, and Boulder Dash, with new additions like Attack of the Mutant Camels, Hover Bover, Iridus Alpha, and Grid Runner, topped off with the recently released Shoot 'em Up Galancia and text adventure Planet of Death to let you relive the glory days of true keyboard gaming, all loadable and savable via a USB flash drive.
That is really, really cool.
And as you can see here,
December.
If you guys want to see it, there's a full listing of games right here. I'm not going to go down through them. There's 64 of them.
And it's coming out early enough. It's coming out early enough in December so that it can probably be able to be shipped for Christmas.
Indeed. 5th of December. So yeah, just pause the video if you want to take a look at this list. But yeah, it's looking at 110 pounds to 120 pounds, which you're looking at about $200. More or less, which is not too bad actually. But that's for a full-size brand new C64 that's going to work on an HDMI TV with 64 games built in, and then the C64 and VIC-20 Basic modes and all. Yeah, guys.
So at the top price of 120 US or 20 British pounds.
Oh, 120 euros. Sorry.
120 euros.
My bad. I guess they're similar, 110 pounds or 120 euros.
So for 120 euros, that's less than $140 US.
Oh, really?
So Canadian, that will be for Canadian dollars, it'll be $180.
Oh, damn, that's not too bad.
So there you go.
All right, so yeah, a lot of good games. C64, and then if they allow you to like load up others,
Right.
there's just too much that
Nice.
they're doing it right.
Yes, sir.
See Sega, fucking. All right, the Dizzy scripting engine reaches version 1.1.0. Create Dizzy games for the ZX Spectrum.
Okay.
Character by the Oliver twins that takes us back to the golden years, the Amstrad C64 and the ZX Spectrum. To be honest, it's why every time there's a new Dizzy fan game being developed or a lost Dizzy game found, I've always got to give it to mention. So why am I mentioning Dizzy again? Welcome to the Dizzy scripting engine, an engine that makes it easier to create Dizzy games for the ZX Spectrum. For those who don't know who Dizzy is an egg. There was a couple of games for the NES as well. Reaching the Dizzy heights of version 1.1.0, the Dizzy scripting engine is an environment for the development of Dizzy-like games for the home computers ZX Spectrum 128 and its clones, with a key feature to rid the developer of programming on assembler language and knowledge of difficult computer architecture. Basically, it helps people of both young and old create Dizzy games for the ZX Spectrum with far more ease, with just the need to learn a very simple scripting language and to know any graphic editor capable of working with images with index color. So basically you can just make other Dizzy games.
I mean, I've played a few Dizzy games in my time, so like the possibility of like editors making their own Dizzy games is kind of exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also opens up I guess, that whole series into being able to be pushed further by having fan-made games, especially if they're, I guess, endorsing it kind of thing, or welcoming it. Alright, so last thing we have here from Indie Retro News is Doxter's Digger, a bonus C64 game that's being released with Man Cave. Alright, so during this weekend, as noted, Psytronik Software released a brand new C64 game by Megastar called Man Cave, a game which follows the hilarious adventures of Richard Morningwood, who has the unfortunate task of gathering up the pages of some rather naughty magazines that have been nabbed from a secret stash by his pesky kids. Well, if you're ever fortunate enough to purchase the great C64 game, you'll be interested to know the game also contained a bonus in the form of another game called Doxter's Digger. Let's go now.
Is his name actually Morningwood?
What?
His name's actually Morningwood.
Yeah.
And the idea of the game is to dig up nudie mags.
Oh,
Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott.
So painful.
Oh, this is nostalgic. Look at this. Oh, man, we're going to get to see the title someday. Oh, Doxters. Oh, this is going to be a cool game called Dox. Oh, wait, there's more text. Hold on. Doxter's Digger. Oh, shit. Okay.
My God, that was painful.
Oh, it looks like it moves faster. Not super fast, but hey. So let's see what happens here. Oh, dude, Oh, I guess you gotta, like, keep burying it so the skeleton can't get up to you?
I guess so.
Oh, I can see this being, like, trippy eventually. Be like, no, stop it. Look at this guy. What is he throwing? What are those white things? Never mind. I don't want to know.
I was about to say.
Anyways, so that's kind of cool. They threw in an extra game with their game, but it sounds like it's almost like a Leisure Suit Larry type of thing.
Yeah.
Alright. Next up, Precinct 20, Dead Strange, finally gets release date by Psytronik Software. Same people who made that last one we were just talking about. Psytronik Software are pleased to announce that Alf Ingv's sci-fi horror theme shooter Precinct 20 Dead Strange will be available on the 29th of June, which was yesterday.
Okay.
Alright, so I actually kind of like the graphics in this because it looks creepy as fuck. So, Precinct 20 Dead Strange sees you take the role of police detective Geir, who's on the chase to hunt down a cult called the Sons of Al-Hukra, who have committed a string of ritual murders. What's that?
Bless you.
Oh.
Hukra. It's like Frau Luca. Never mind.
To make things worse for Geir, he also has to deal with a figure called the Birdman, who is on the loose slaying people and picking at the odds of his victims, while a stalker only known as Slender Man preys on lonely pedestrians. It's up to Detective Geir to walk down these dark streets and make them safe once again. Ooh, let's have a look. This is also for the C64, by the way.
And the dangers of Birdman is if you leave your car out on the sidewalk, there's a potential that not only will he peck out your eyes, but he'll also shit on your windshield.
Oh. No, you're ruining the paint job in my car. Oh, this...
Nobody.
Whoa.
Nobody wants that. Why is he shooting daggers? Oh.
I wonder, it must be hard doing diagonal on C64 and stuff.
Right?
Whoa. You're creeping on, like, you're super creepy, though, for a detective, like...
Whoa. Jeez.
Oh, you moved down diagonal then? Why did you not do that before? There you go. Good. That was much better.
He goes so fast up and down, but then his forward motion is like... fucking...
He's being very careful, Scott.
Yeah, he's being... Yeah, sure. Like,
Get to the left side of the street! Okay, now move forward very slowly.
But like, see how fast he goes up?
Maybe you need to move up and down faster in this
I
game.
get.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like you go up, you run like a bat out of hell, but when you need to go full glasses in winter, it's like, good lord!
I could see this being on the NES.
Throw torches at him, you son of a bitch!
Oh shit, that molester guy. Yeah. Okay. See, we're just flowing through a lot of new old games.
Okay.
Apparently the soundtrack is also creepy. It gives a lot of atmosphere. Oh, yeah. I can see that. Alright, we're moving on to some more stuff. Some stuff that Scott also might find interesting. Such as Pokemon Sword and Shield Dev understands you're upset about the National Dex drama, Scott. You specifically.
I'm really not, though. Because... I talked to a couple people about this at work, and they're all like, "Oh, the National Dex, blah blah blah." It's like, guys, come on, man. Do you want this game this year or not?
So, okay, the Masuda, the series producer Junichi Masuda thanks fans for their love of the series and reiterates the decision to exclude Pokemon from the titles, or exclude some Pokemon from the titles wasn't made lightly. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon, and each and every one of them is very important to us. So, after many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. Despite the fact that some Pokemon won't be transferable to Sword and Shield, Masuda assures that those monsters won't be excluded from the series permanently.
Feature games, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, that does not mean it will not appear in future games.
Like, come on. Like, I understand that people want their national decks, but at the same time, it's like, this is something new. Just try it for one game.
Exactly, and that's the way I feel about it too, actually.
And it's not to say that the future DLC might be like, hey, we've had a little bit extra time, now we're going to invite everybody.
Exactly.
That could be a thing that happens. So just be patient, folks. It's going to be a new game. It's a new thing. They have the whole Dynamax system, which might not be great for all the Pokemon in the game right now. So just be patient. Just.
I mean, you gotta also think about it too. Like, Jesus, how long would it be, and how much more would you have to wait if they had to go and do like all these different Pokemon in a new different way? Because they're doing it for Switch, not for a Game Boy. So it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to be more graphically intensive. It's going to look better. So I mean, having 1,000 Pokemon, all with their own sounds, all with their own movements, all with their own, it's a lot. So I mean, yeah, you have to understand that there's probably good reasoning behind it as well. So. And at least you're being promised that, they're not gone permanently.
Yep.
So, here's the next thing that I want to talk about.
Oh my god.
Twitch rolls out an exclusive subscriber streams. We're not even going to read I don't care about all the
We don't even need to read it. We can just discuss it without it. This is the stupidest idea that you could possibly do.
This is what I was talking about with 2 mistakes that I think Twitch has just made. One, letting back Dr. Disrespect after him basically breaking the law. And 2, doing the subscriber streams. That means you're endorsing the fact that you want people, hey, if you're not subscribed to the channel, get. If you're not giving us extra money,
you are not important enough unless you give us money. How fucking dare you? How dare you, as a company, give this option to people who say, if you haven't given us your money, you're not important enough for us to entertain you? How dare you? Like, what if you're just like, just like a regular kid, it's like a 12-year-old kid, it's like, hey, I like my Fortnite streams. Oh, well now my favorite Fortnite dude's gonna do subscriber mode, and I don't get to watch my favorite YouTube or Twitch streamer. I'm sorry, I kept saying YouTube. Twitch streamer because he's on subscriber streams. Are you kidding me? Like, you're literally going to say it's like the only people who are important are those with money.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a huge thing that's going to stir up a lot of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. For all we know, maybe they're going to be smart about it eventually and say, hey, let's try doing giving extra options for these subscriber streams. Like, hey, have you ever wanted to watch a movie with everyone, but you couldn't because it's against terms of service? Well, now you can do a private sub-only stream, which means that once they come in there, you can watch whatever the hell you want, but it won't be a save stream, etc., etc. And it's not really, like, I don't know, there's got to be some extra added feature to make that viable. Otherwise, like exactly what Scott said, you're basically just spitting in the face of people who don't like. They're still enjoying your platform. They're still increasing your ad revenue because those people are still watching ads. If you don't have, you go and look at even some of the bigger streamers who have, like, say, 1,000 people watching, say. Now just turn to subscriber mode only. 200. You just lost 800 potential people watching ads and generating revenue. That, to me, that just
it's so mindless.
It doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't. Like, I understand it. If you say hey, here's my 2-hour stream, and now I'm gonna do like this hour-long subscriber stream. Like, all right, maybe here's some extra special content for the people who subscribe. All right, maybe, but there are going to be people who are just going to primarily be like, hey, this subscriber stream. To all you people out there who have given me money, I don't actually care about you.
When are we going to start getting tokens and calling ourselves cam whores?
We have bits already, so. We already in Twitch have subscriber mode only when it comes to chat.
So now they can start paying bits to us, Scott, to do like private one-on-one streams of games. Wink.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
This is a stupid idea, and I really think they need to be like really, really, really careful about these sort of things, because if you're allowed to like do specific things only in subscriber mode, then that means that you are going to completely isolate people that just don't have the extra money to subscribe to people. I mean, there are some people out there who, they enjoy their entertainment, they like their Twitch, but they're paycheck to paycheck people. They're folks that just don't have the extra money to be able to shell out to a subscription every single month.
And let me just read how the Vice President puts this of Commerce. Creators often ask us for new and better ways to reward their viewers. Are you serious? Hey guys, to all the subscribers out there, thank you for your money. Those who aren't subscribers,
bye.
I'm not giving you anything. I'm doing a stream for these people give me money. Like, are you serious? Like, that's basically what you're saying. I'm rewarding you because you gave me money. Like, oh, yep. God, man.
Yep.
It's supposed to be... The whole subscription thing is supposed to be a support platform. To show the streamer, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to subscribe. What I get back is being able to for everyone else to know that I've been here for this long. I have the use of these emotes. That's what I get back. And you, the streamer. So,
This is dumb. End of story. It's bad. It's bad. You're just you're isolating your viewership. It's not like...
So, we're going to go to our next topic, which I'm not sure if Scott's going to be happy or sad or upset. But Doom TV show is being made by Dave and James Franco.
Go on.
id Software's Doom is leaving the fire pits of hell, making its way to television screens. American television company USA Network has ordered a TV pilot for Masters of Doom, produced by brothers Dave and James Franco.
Oh no.
Yeah. Masters of Doom is a 2003 nonfiction book written by Rolling Stone contributor-editor David Kushner. It recounts the story of id Software co-founders John Carmack and John Romero, best friends turned bitter rivals, to create one of the most influential first-person shooters in gaming? Wait.
This isn't going to be about Doom.
It's going to be about the making of Doom?
Of it. Please cook.
See, and this is why I don't read all my news, everyone, so you can see the genuine frustration. Alright, well, that's as far as we're going to go, because once I found... I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually love Dave and James Franco, they're great, but I don't want to see the making of Doom.
No.
Anyways, Tetris 99! It's like a Battle Royale game, or Tetris 99 like Battle Royale game announced for mobile. So Tetris 99 meets Tetris Royale.
Go on.
Nintendo Switch surprising Battle Royale like Tetris 99 is getting some competition. New Tetris Battle Royale game, Tetris Royale, is now in development for iOS and Android. The Verge reports that the game is a mobile version of Tetris 99. It will feature solo marathon mode and daily reward challenges alongside its 100-player competitive mode. Though no release date has been announced, beta testing for the game will start sometime later this year. Tetris 99 was announced during and released after a February 2019 Nintendo Direct. It's free to download and play for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers and pits you against 98 other Tetris players around the world. Tetris 99 also recently added paid DLC that includes offline modes, CPU Battle Marathon, for $10 US. In our Tetris 99 review, we said Tetris 99 may not be a proper Battle Royale game, but it taps into some emotional well, where a large number of players vying for supremacy creates an ever-present intensity that's difficult to shake. Add that layer to a game that's plenty capable of instilling tension on its own, you've got a riveting experience that even at its worst is still a game very much worth playing.
When they say that it's not a proper Battle Royale game, they're absolutely...
What's that?
When they say that it's not a proper Battle Royale game, they're absolutely wrong.
Every time you say they're absolutely something...
Wrong.
Wrong? Oh, okay. I think it follows in the story we covered last week with Mario Royale, where you basically load in, it's basically, you go through 4 levels, and the first 3 people who finish the last level are the winners. And it's basically, there's different ways that you can end up killing other players, like if you get a star and they touch you and that kind of stuff. You know, so it's kind of like a little bit like a Royale type kind of battle game, but at the same time, not really. It'd be different because I'm not even sure. Like if you had fireballs and you threw them, would they actually hit? I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, I guess we'd have to see a little bit more of this game once it's actually released in order to actually have a solid understanding of what they want to do with it.
I mean, I'm definitely going to be in on that. Tetris. I can't help myself.
Reward the viewers by fucking them over. Yeah, there. So yeah. Some weird news. Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music, cast more characters from the original movies. I don't even really want to talk about it. I just thought it was funny that such an old movie series is trying to get like a comeback with Keanu Reeves and some old dude. Oh wait, that's the other guy that was in the movie who looks way older than Keanu Reeves.
No.
I'm pretty sure he coaches a baseball team now, right?
You've done enough with Cyberpunk, Keanu. Don't ruin yourself.
So yeah, we're not going to talk about it, but I just had to mention it there just because it's the revival. It's trying. Alright, Cyberpunk 2077's install size is 80 gigabytes on PS4.
Holy shit.
Yeah, again, something that's not super important to me, but it's like, when it's something you see like this, install size 80 gigs, I'm like, what?
Yeah, wow. That's...
Won't arrive until 2020. Players may need to start making preparations for the massive first-person shooter. Games... Oh, yeah. I guess it's official, or it's going to be Canada Day soon. People are celebrating with fireworks outside. Games install size allegedly hovers around 80 gigabytes. Oh! European PlayStation Store reveals the 80 gigabyte minimum required to install the game. Oh, what do you mean minimum?
What do you mean 80 minimum? God almighty. You know, I just reinstalled Diablo 3 on my PC this morning, yesterday, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like 18 gig, and I'm like, man, this game's huge. And now this, like...
I mean, GTA 5, I'm pretty sure, is like 50 gigs or something. But I mean, still, like... That's an extra 30 gigs. That's a huge amount, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Keanu Reeves, that is funny. You literally just said it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well.
Speaking of Cyberpunk 2077.
Alright, we're going to go to our next one, which is... PC Gamer not loading.
Oh, what a surprise.
Why? Why do you do this to me every fucking time? Every goddamn week, you son of a bitch.
Every week.
But at least we get a little break in here. And, yeah, we're, again, I guess, while we're waiting, we're always looking for new segments and things to add to the podcast. If you have any suggestions, please let us know through the Discord, Twitter, Facebook, any other means. Always appreciated. We're trying to make the podcast better for everybody.
New Nino Kuni game
is in the works. Confirmed by level 5. Oh, yeah. So...
Well, I'll have to say that I haven't played any of the Nino Kuni games.
I want to. So bad.
They look really, really, really good. So that'll be an eventual tag.
Oh, yeah. And, you know what? Every time that I hear anyone talk about it, it's always something good. I've never heard anything bad about the series yet.
Nope.
So that's always something to look forward to as well. Pop, 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 pop. Alright, something huge for the speedrunning community and for just everything. SGDQ, Games Done Quick, this year have raised over $3 million for Doctors Without Borders. That requires applause and like...
They just get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. It's like... It's amazing.
And like, GG to the people who run that, because, I mean, you guys are the ones that make this happen. Those donations wouldn't be getting to Doctors Without Borders without you. So thank you for putting off GDQ to begin with.
Right? Just $3 million. Like,
I don't think people thank GDQ enough for what they're doing for everyone, for gamers, for viewers, for speedrunners, for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping next year I might be able to even get to a GDQ.
That would be awesome.
Maybe I can get a Scott and a 6 on my couch.
Right?
While I play Bomberman and Bomberman and Bomberman and Bomberman. And possibly Double Dragon or something. Anyways. And then I get some like heavy metal just crashing in my ears all of a sudden.
Double the fuck dragon.
So yeah, I guess next year they're going to be setting a goal for 4. That's going to be craziness. So I'd like to be part of that. That'd be awesome.
I think they could make it. They could absolutely make it.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, I was watching Saturday, and I think at that point they were only at like 1.2.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was early Saturday, or was it Saturday?
Wow. That's. Jeez.
Maybe it was Friday. Either way, in 2 days they more than doubled.
That's crazy.
Their donations. Like, that's huge. I mean, and during a lot of the segments I was watching personally, there were a lot of people who were literally just tossing in like 1,000 here, 1,000 there kind of thing. So, yeah, people were being super generous, and kudos to all those people who threw generous donations as well.
Mm-hmm. Good on you guys.
Indeed.
I hope you can make that next year. That would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be so, dude, it'd be so awesome. All right, anyways, sorry, we'll probably talk about a GDQ as a topic sometime in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Ooh, Bandai Namco announces a new PC action RPG called Blue Protocol.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like it could be all right. Especially if it's Bandai Namco, that could be really good. Just that one picture up here.
I heard the Namco makes some cool games, guys. I don't know if anybody knows any Namco games that have been made. You know, some popular games. I'm trying to think of some.
Among others, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest ones. So yeah, no,
it looks cool.
It does indeed. So they've announced that a new PC online action RPG called Blue Protocol, and you can see its anime art style in the image above. The world is on the brink of devastation. Now is the time to unite, reads the game's description. March on with friends and strangers and defeat foes beyond your might. Travel through space and time to change the future beyond this fight. Felt like I was forced to rhyme there. I don't want to. So I'm hoping that we're going to see a little bit more about Blue Protocol in the upcoming weeks. Mm-hmm. We'll try and keep you apprised as much as possible because it looks like it could be something fantastic.
Something real good.
Alright, our next one. Gloomhaven gets an early access teaser ahead of launch. Apparently, Gloomhaven, if those who are unaware, is a tabletop game. I figure Mr. Scotty over there would enjoy hearing about this. Oh, good. God damn it.
So is this going to be just the PC launch of it?
It looks like it.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently it's a pretty expensive board game as well.
Gloomhaven, yeah. So they usually probably picking up like a new version of it, probably like $100. Amazon has Gloomhaven up for $108.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's actually on sale for $108. They normally run for $140. But you also have to understand, Gloomhaven is a massive massive board game.
Oh yeah. So anyone who has played Gloomhaven, you will be getting a new game for early access. So keep on the lookout for that. It's a tactical dungeon crawler, and one of the best board games around, where you'll need to put together a band of reckless mercenaries and send them down to the depths of unwelcoming dungeons in the name of loot and adventure. Mostly loot, which means it sounds like a game I would love to play.
I've played it like I want to say 2 or 3 times, and it's a little convoluted at times, but it's a really, 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 really good board game.
All right, so procedurally sliced pizza RPG No Delivery has an unsettling free demo.
What?
Apparently, this is a horror game. Oh, here we go. Let's see the trailer for it real quick.
Okay. We No Delivery?
Apparently, people are against pizza. Man, that cheese pizza's been sitting in the heat lamp for a while.
Yeah, that's why I like pizza like that, to be honest with you. Like the burnt cheese on the top.
No, don't burn it. Keep it gooey. Oh. So I do like the style of it, don't get me wrong. It just looks like it's a creepy game. Apparently you die repeatedly in it.
High employee turnover rate.
Now available on itch.io.
Okay.
So you play as a series of employees tasked with investigating the establishment and usually dying as a result. If one of them pegs it, there's always another human or animal waiting to take their place. From mostly top-down perspective, you'll creep from room to room as the game presents you with special events with occasional bouts of turn-based combat. No Delivery doesn't mess around with its battles, which are horribly tough from the get-go. In fact, I had to escape from every one of them. So low were the odds I'd defeat even a single monster. I haven't seen the end of it, but as far as I can tell, this demo is for the in-development game seems to be pretty sizable. If you're exhausted with the Freddy series, or you're simply on the lookout for a vaguely Shin Megami Tensei-ish horror RPG, No Delivery is a no-brainer. Yeah.
I gotta give it a try. What was their website again? It was itch.io?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll have to give it a try.
Cool. Scott's gonna try a new game for us. Alright, our last bit of news is, can an $80 HDMI dongle actually do post-processing for your GPU? Alright, this is the same company that built a $120 HDMI cable with a built-in processing chip to make games look better. This time it has a $99 M Classic dongle, which is headed to Kickstarter with some big and interesting claims. PC gamers are able to upgrade their graphics cards, while console gamers have been limited by locked hardware. Not anymore. The M Classic is here to be the world's first add-on graphics processor for video game consoles.
I don't want to be that kind of negative Nelly, but how?
It sounds like it's a scaler. Yep. Heart of the dongle is Mercedes VTV 1224 chip and a 4K Chroma 4x4x4 scalar processor. Now, I work in the cable industry, and we've got some new 4K boxes that have scalars in them. And let me tell you, I've never seen 1080p video ever look as good as I have on one of these boxes. And apparently it's because of the scalars that are in them. So it could be something worth looking into. But if it's something that's either bit important enough to make a difference, it's going to become mainstream. So these dongles will be good for a couple of years, and then everything's going to have these scalers that are better.
How quickly will gaming companies like Nintendo, who is very protective of their consoles, their consoles and their IPs, how quickly will they be able to go, oh, well, these guys are doing this and they're making a profit, making our systems better, we should just do the same and sell it with our stuff, or as an option to our stuff.
M-Classic's patented technology redraws every single pixel on the fly at 120 FPS with near zero latency, and eliminates jagged edges that are smoothed over by our advanced anti-aliasing algorithm.
Huh. I mean, how much are they looking to charge for it? They said, what, $80?
Oh, I'm trying to move the fucking thing here, but it's like, listen, boss, stop. Why can't I move the goddamn page? There, Jesus, that took fucking so much effort just then. God damn.
We don't want you to read more. The bad parts are coming.
So apparently they are mostly marketing this to console gamers. Plugs into your Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, or any number of retro game consoles, and acts as a powered HDMI in between for your game system and TV. Even though it's intended for game consoles, they asked if it can be used to play PC games, basically a souped-up HDMI dongle, so in theory it should work. And they say yes, you can use it to see immediate results if you're streaming.
I guess so. I mean, I kind of do the same thing by having like a separate SSD for my PC. So
it's the same reason why people get lag when they're using a capture card, because it's not being powered. It's basically drawing on your computer or whatever you're hooking it up to do that extra work for it. So it's basically a pass-through more than anything else. So the capture card, it isn't literally not really doing much for you except turning your weird little N64 thing that goes in the back there and your RCA that turns into USB. That's all that a capture card is really doing. I mean, is there bundled like software and stuff for it? Yes. Like, don't get me wrong, that does some minimal stuff for it. But these powered things actually have the power to give you this zero latency. That's the reason why that's the case. If it wasn't powered, there wouldn't be this zero latency whatsoever. They would definitely have lag.
Makes sense. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I would like to see it in actual application before I would consider actually purchasing. You know what I'm saying?
God damn it! I wish the fuck this thing was. All right, so we're gonna move on to our Kickstarters now.
Okay.
First up, this is actually kind of cool looking. It's called SkateBIRD. It'd be a skateboarding bird. It couldn't even say it. Skateboarding board. Kickflip over staplers. So basically, you're a bird on a little tiny skateboard, skating through like rooms and stuff. It's already been backed by 1,900 people. It has 8 days to go. They were looking for 26,000. They have almost 66.
Hey,
So,
Stefan, do I get to play as Tony Hawk? I want to play as Tony Hawk.
look at that fucking face, but don't raise your eyebrow at me. Whoa.
It's a game about trying your best.
Oh, I love that the fucking bird flaps its wings and everything. But it does seem jagged when you go up on a lip, though. It looks super
Ate shit.
Look at that.
Ridiculous.
It is, I know, but it looks awesome
This is
too.
so ridiculous, and I really want to play it.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. But you have to understand something about me, okay?
I'm not a skateboarding kind of guy, but I think I've played any Tony Hawk's game maybe once ever. But I really like birds. And this looks like fun, honestly. Like, even if they weren't birds, it just... Oh, it's shit.
Yeah, no, I played a few Tony Hawk games, and I enjoyed them.
It's silly, and there's a demo.
Oh, apparently people really wanted to pet the bird.
You can pet the bird?
You can probably go in and, like, use your mouse or something to just, like, pet it or something.
Petting bird should be possible. It's important. What? You can pet the bird?
So it looks like...
Super creative bird!
It looks like you'll be able to get a digital copy for $15 from Steam, which is not bad at all. Oh, there it is! Petting the bird. That doesn't look creepy at all.
No, it doesn't. It's like fucking Master Hand.
You're just waiting something bad to happen, like turn into a gun.
Laser starts shooting out. It's like annihilated.
Oh man. No burbs are with this game.
No burbs.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'd play this.
Yes, I would. I would absolutely play it. This sounded like such a stupid idea to start with, and I was like, Tony Hawk. And now I'm like, but I want the burbs now.
Oh, look, you give them different hats?
Hell yeah. Yo, I want a bird with a fez. I want a little finch with a fez.
Eventually, we will all be able to play this, everybody, because it's already been back, so we're good to go. Just wanted to show you guys a cool little Kickstarter. And I'm pretty sure most of the ones that I'm looking at are pretty much good to go, so. Next one up is Away, the Survival Series, an animal adventure game. They were looking for 60,000. They're almost up to 76. They're already back.
I think I accidentally have seen this already.
They're from Montreal, Canada. Yeah, go Canada. 24 days to go, so they got back fast.
Yeah, they did.
Super fast. Well, it looks like it's high-end graphics. Well, high-end graphics-ish.
Let's go Super Raccoon Simulator. Those aren't raccoons.
Okay.
Oh, this is...
Whoa! Are you shitting me? Dude. Dude. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I want to play this now. Yeah, I want to play this. There's no doubt in my mind that I want to play this. I get to explore a world as something that small. Yes, please. And I can fly. Alright.
Sugar gliders? Is that what those are?
It's something similar to... Oh, shit. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my... Dude. What?
Yeah, I think they're sugar gliders.
Okay, now I can see why this got backed.
Oh, so there's gonna be like a little section where like you're trying to survive like a forest fire and stuff like that. Oh, mandatory spider boss. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I love how this looks. It looks so good.
This is not what I thought it was, by the way. I apologize.
I would play the shit out of this. Oh, there was a raccoon. Whoa, you're not much bigger than an ant? Oh wow, and you have to hide away from big predators and stuff too? Oh, this is so cool.
It is a sugar glider, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. This is fantastic.
Right?
Wait. Okay, you're just looking at other animals, I guess. That's still pretty crazy looking though, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, I want to play this. Damn.
Well, they're already back, so You know you get there.
$25 for a digital copy of the game. I will end up getting this game when it comes out, for sure. Definitely.
Ha ha ha! Oh, it's just animal puns all day long
Wow.
for us. Folks.
Wow. Wow. Oh my god. No wonder they got back so fast.
Holy shit!
Holy. And it keeps going. That's all their backers. They're all the people who featured them.
That's it?
Man. Alright. Well, good job, because...
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, I just want to wish this on Steam. Done. Don't even have to ask me. Everyone else who does a Kickstarter, throw one of these fucking things on there. What are you doing? This is the first one I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, keep that going. Anyways, yeah, there's some other cool incentives they got over here. Premium glider, exclusive sugar glider skins. Aww. Engraved monument in the game for the world's lost heroes. Jesus, postcard from the dev team credited as a premium backer. So let's see what their top tier is. Jesus, 1,500, 5,000.
Getting sent an actual sugar glider.
Wait, what? Oh, fuck, Scott. Design a side quest, studio invitation. Oh, that'd be so cool. I'd go to Montreal for that.
Oh, would you?
Wow, 25 copies to just give random people. Damn.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of copies.
Yeah, really though. Picture of your pet in the game, signed hardcover art book, signed poster, limited collector's edition. Design your own sugar glider skin, statue of your head in the game, monthly video calls to the dev team, design a site. See, how awkward would that be though? Monthly video calls. Oh, hey guys, you guys just working on the game again? Yeah. How's it going? It's going good. Show me all the new stuff. Oh, we can't.
Oh. Why aren't you wearing any pants?
So what did you eat today? What do you eat later? I don't know. That'd be. I think that just random calls to people would be so awkward. But I mean, maybe other people fucking love that shit.
I guess. Just nah, I'm okay with that.
Invitation to spend a day at our studio, design a side quest, naming credits as development collaborator. Yeah, no, this game looks pretty cool. I like it. I like that there's so much exploration and the fucking being able to jump and like fly around. Oh, so awesome. Damn. Some of these rewards are all gone. The $40 and $60 and $80 rewards are all gone. $120 rewards are gone. $200 rewards are gone. $400. What?
Wow.
Only available for 24 hours. Get everything in the Diamond Glider reward tier plus 3 bonus animal games. Huh? I'm confused. Anyways, doesn't matter. Moving on. Next Kickstarter is, Evans Remains, a mystery adventure that merges puzzles with visual novel elements. Now, again, like I said before, I don't mind visual novels as long as there's still some good gameplay.
As long as you advertise the fact that you are a visual novel.
That's exactly the other thing. They're looking for 13,000. They're almost up to 8. They have 17 days to go. They're almost back, so we can help get them there. Coming out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Ooh.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But it's like 4.5, 5 hours from my house.
Ooh, that animation looks very familiar. Oh, wow. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, dude.
What does this remind me of? Like Celeste.
Reminds me a little bit of Treasure Adventure game.
That too, yeah.
Is that an Old World Gamer sticker?
Looks beautiful graphically.
Yeah, this is. I'm loving the graphics. I just hope there's lots of platforming stuff in there. Shootakumi.
Okay.
Oh wow, Argentina.
I think he was out of Erie.
That's what it said. Unless he moved there, I don't know. We'll see in a second. Or maybe they went there for some stuff. I don't know. We'll find out in a moment. Oh, maybe he came to Erie to do his studying for this.
Really developing it. This is one guy's work, by the way. Wow. I'm really surprised that this is like a single guy doing all of this.
This looks nice though.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, there's more to the puzzles than this though. I mean, I don't mind puzzles and stuff, but
Definitely does need to be like. I'm sure that like they're only showing you small portions.
yeah. Yeah, it looks alright. I really like the style. It's really nice.
Right? So, yeah, just about 8,000 of what they're looking. They got 17 days left, so
Yeah.
plenty of time for you guys to get out there and show some support if you like games like that.
Oh, wow. They're only looking for $7 for a copy. Is what it looks
Really?
like. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good.
On any, on whatever platform, I guess. It says preferred platform, so I assume there must be a couple other platforms they're going to do it for.
Huh. Not bad. $7 is a pretty good price tag for something that looks as nice as that.
Mm-hmm. But again, at least he's saying as well that it is a visual novel of sorts as well. Launched simultaneously in late 2020, May 2020, on Switch, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC via Steam and DRM free platforms. Wow. So that's, yeah, he's going to full. He's learning how to do all of them at the same time, so that's good for him.
Nice.
So let's see what his top donation is. Oh, 3 awards no longer available for $500. Wow. So 3 secret characters in the game from backers have been already fully been taken. Alright, and the last game, the last Kickstarter we're going to look at tonight. It's called Orange Island, an action-adventure RPG with heart. It also had this, and I was all like, yeah, I gotta check this out. It's coming on Nintendo Cart, I has to see. They're looking for 24,960. So 25,000, they got about 38,000. They've already met their goal. 23 days to go. Out of London, UK. Let's have a look. Oh.
Okay.
Whoa! Oh, I likes to look at this, Scott. It's like Kirby almost.
I was just about to say.
Beautiful sunsets, a long day's reward.
What a terrible night for a curse. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, what a fantastic sunset for a good
Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
Whoa! There's some shoot 'em ups and some platform
Whoa.
stuffs.
Yeah. Is that orange? Yeah, it's like Super Mario 2. He's flying on a bird.
Oh, damn. to the moon and back. Whoa! Final Fantasy 4 opened this BR. Look at that. Where are you? You are dying on the moon.
Where am I? I'm in DuckTales.
Because you can't breathe. Unless it's DuckTales, and then you can breathe anywhere. Or hold your breath very long underwater until you can make it to the surface.
I like the fact that it has like uniquely colored NES card.
Yeah, I like that pink card. That's actually kind of nice.
You know, for a game name, what the hell would they put in a pink?
Yeah,
just like, you know, putting it in a...
maybe because it's all females?
Maybe? I don't... Are they?
Hunt for artifacts and utilize magic powers on a mysterious pastel-hued island in this cute 8-bit platformer. So yeah, I feel confident this is going to be fucking fantastic as well.
Alright.
How much is it for
Gameplay
a game?
looks pretty good, so...
$17 for a digital copy.
Huh.
Oh, but wait, no. What about Amazon? No, don't tease me. Oh, good enough for a true home NES port. Dude, come on now. I want one of them. Don't tease me with a pink NES card and tell me I can't have one. Jesus.
Well, then we're going to single-handedly help them get that. So
apparently.
It's going to be us that gets them there. Hey,
I need that.
The Retro Indie Pixels podcast talked about our game, and now we've made $1,000 billion, and now we're going to get our NES cartridge.
Someday, wow, they only went up as far as 500. They had quite a few different items listed there. Oh, damn, look at all this stuff. Digital copy of the game for PS4 or Switch. Stretch goal reward physical vinyl. Stretch goal reward physical game instruction manual. That's really cool that they're saying, like, yeah, if by some chance we also reach a stretch goal, you'll also get this as part of your, like, backer reward incentive. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a new game.
Oh, so they do actually have one. Where is it? Tell me.
They have it. Whatever it is.
So this is it here. 34,000. Oh, come on. You gotta get him to 34,000. Oh, don't. Oh.
How close were they?
That's 38,000 Canadian. Oh, that's laws.
Oh, that's Canadian. Hold on. Let me check the American. Yeah. All right. So Orange Island, they want 34,000 for the cart.
Yeah. And
it is at 29,000. So they are actually very close. They're less than...
so they got this dude doing the 2 songs, but I really want to get... Oh.
He wants the pink cartridge.
I really do, and if it comes in a box and everything too, again, I'm just going to go over the corner and touch myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be truthful. Alright. Well, Scott... And it looks like that's the end of the podcast, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you for everybody who stopped by this afternoon and hit us up in chat. We appreciate you guys being here.
Indeed. Also, big shout out to all the websites that we're using, especially Indie. Let me just double check that again, because I don't want to screw up their fucking name.
Let's not miss anybody.
Indie Retro News, Nintendo Life. GameSpot Vintage is the new old. PC Gamer, and of course Kickstarter. Also, huge shout out to our new listeners on Spotify. Thank you very much for finding us on that platform, and hopefully we can keep you interested in listening every week. And everybody else out there on Twitch and any other platform that you're listening on, Shout Engine, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you're getting it from. Thank you for listening, and
indeed,
and joining us every week. We deeply appreciate it.
And for future podcasts, we're looking to throw in a section where we are going to have a subject matter discussion. And if you guys would like to hear us talk about any specific gaming subject matter, feel free to hit us up on all the platforms that we have. And if we give us a subject we're interested in, we'll give you a shout out on it too.
Indeed. Indeed, Professor Pervert. Alright, so, seeing as we talked about this person... Oh, did they stop streaming as soon as I... Oh, they did. No!
They just stopped streaming as we went
as soon as I was like, I'm going to host you, and he's like, nah, I'm out of here. Alright, fine. Let's host up PoisonCurls. He is playing retro. That is, what other things are you playing? Poison Infected. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll find out when we get over there. Again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next week. Have yourselves a good week.
Cheers, mates.
And we are out.